reason being there's no light up there. It's the bleakest day in the world, and it's a bit unfortunate that it's such a bad day to introduce my guest commentator today, Mr. Jimmy Fotinitis. Jimmy, how you going, mate?
Oh, not too bad, Steve. Not too bad.
Do you think it'll be an interesting contest, Springvale and Preston, and looking at the camera, mate?
Well, I think, to be truthful, I think Preston is the better side when you look at it on paper. We do have a few young players in the side today, and it'll be interesting to see how they go.
Yes, both Quinn brothers, Darren and Tony, have got a go. Now, you've watched a bit of the seconds this year. Do you reckon, how do you think, well, first of all, young Tony Quinn will go full forward?
Well, it's very difficult to say. It's going to be a pretty tough initiation against this side, as I said, and I think that he'll do well, actually. He's not a bad sort of a mover. He can take a grab, so I think he might get one or two.
I would like to say that before the start of this year, when we were watching the practice match in the heat down at Harold Road, I did say this lad will play full forward for Springvale, but I don't like to show off, Jimmy, you know that.
No, actually, I remember you saying that, Steve, and I
you
thought,
really, Jim?
well, let's...
Oh, mate, I've brought the right bloke up. Oh, very good. Here's the 10. Now, Neil Brown isn't here. Normally Neil's here doing all this ridiculous rubbish, but he's a bit worried about his dog. I think he's got to give him a possum or something today, farm coat. But anyway, we don't want to talk about Paul. What about young Darren Quinn? You've seen him. What do you think of Darren? Would you like to describe him to the viewers?
Well, I haven't seen all that much of Darren, but, he's a goer, there's no doubt about that. I think that's what we've got to play in our side. It's the only way to sort of really move up.
My wife and Damien are listening to this on the FM radio, Jimmy, so you want to pick your comments up a little bit. Cheryl broke her elbow last night.
Yes, I'm just... well, that's what she says anyway, but I find that difficult to believe.
Yeah, well, that's right, she always is. So, no, actually, Darren Quinn, I'm a real rap for this kid. He's got perfect balance and poise and heaps of courage, and Terry Freeman had him ruck roving down at Williamstown. You don't go to the away games, Jimmy.
Oh, well, I wouldn't go down to Williamstown. Well, it's just too cold, mate.
Well, it wasn't too bad last week at Williamstown. People didn't even have their they had them on their overcoats, but they didn't have them buttoned up.
Right.
Which is good for Williamstown.
And they only had one overcoat on, did they?
Only one, yes, and no gloves. Now, other players that have come into the side, of course, is Captain Jeffrey Anderson. He'll add some spark to the forward line.
Definitely badly needed over the last few weeks. Very sorely missed. I think that today it's going to be a big plus for Springy because he's back.
Right.
He'll add that little bit of bite around the forward line which we have been missing.
This happens all the time. Freddie Cunningham only comes on when we're doing this. And here's Neil Brown coming around the boundary now. Who are the other players that are in the side? Do you remember there's 6 in?
There were 6 changes, yeah.
So we've mentioned Anderson and the Quinn brothers. Who else have we got? Oh, Tony Collins in the back pocket.
Tony, yes. Well, he has a go. And it'll be interesting to see how he goes. Obviously, they're picking players out of the seconds that are playing well. And reputations have been left in the dark, so to speak.
Neil's giving us the queerest look I've ever seen. Neil, come in. So we're doing our pre-match down here because it's too dark up there. It is far too dark. Here's Neil Brown, one of our, of course, our #1 commentator. Neil, what do you got to say about the game?
I think so. It'll probably be probably one of the most uneventful afternoons we've ever attended, but anyway.
Well, what do you got to say about our guest commentator?
Nice that Jimmy's turned up. I see Gary Taylor walking around the back. What did happen to Gary that day?
Well, I see he's got his mow shaved off, so yeah, maybe he had an operation.
Well, I thought he was trying to disguise from us, you know, that we were maybe looking for him.
I don't think you shave and mow off to disguise yourself. But what do you think of the Quinn brothers getting a game and Tony Collins?
I think it's terrific that 2 brothers, as the first set of brothers we've had in the side for a long time, many years. I can't
Woodman
remember.
brothers?
Yes, that'll be the last set of brothers.
Jeff Woodman said, don't mention him a game on this or he'll knock us out.
He will too.
Yeah, well, we just did.
It's very good for Tony. I've known him since they were young boys, and
But you get on well with the Quinn
And,
family, a bit like me and Laurie.
No, it's lovely to see both the boys in. And I think Darren and Tony got a very big future with the club, and certainly in football.
Fiery baptism against Preston.
Yeah, well, you know, Len Smith always said at selection, when in doubt, play a kid, and that's what we've done.
Lenny Smith.
Well, the great,
Is he,
the late
is
and
he on
great
our
Len
selection?
Smith.
Don't tell me they're having a seance at selection.
Probably.
Now.
Well, they're going to do something. We better get off the ground because Laurie will be coming around here any minute.
Well, he'll hook us.
I don't want a scene out here.
Yes, well, good afternoon again. We're off the ground and up here, and we're very pleased to have a guest commentator for a change,
Yeah.
and a former Springvale champion player in Jimmy Fotniotis.
What do you mean for a change? What do you mean? You
Well,
having a go at
you
Squiz?
We've had a few lined up that have proven to be duds. There's a close-up of Jimmy. Looks all right too.
Yeah, it comes up all right for a Greek, doesn't he?
Yes. Kicked many goals.
There's Steve Collins. Why don't we get him?
Many famous. There's Steve Collins, the team manager.
I'll tell you what, there's no shortage of people who want to get their head on camera now.
No, they love it.
It's,
Even Laurie walked out there. I think he wanted to get a flash.
I don't think he wants to get on.
Anyway, Jimmy now currently
Jim.
playing with
You get in the way otherwise.
the Scoresby Football Club.
I might
Is
mention.
Shane on call, is he?
No, I might mention to you, Neil, for the first time we're on FM radio. My wife, who's got a broken elbow, lying in the car there, and Damien.
Your wife?
and
She was okay last night. She got involved
she
in a
fell
fight
over
here in the club.
kitchen last
Oh,
night.
no.
Not drunk. And they're listening to us on FM, so would you like to send them a cheerio?
Yes, a big cheer out of Cheryl. When I saw Cheryl, she was glad of the fact that it was going to be a quiet night, and she's looking forward to packing up early, and she's suffered a workers' compensation claim in the kitchen.
Well, we've yet to see about that. Anyhow, let's get on with this game.
Okay, here's the footy action. The daunting task of the Preston Football Club visiting Springvale here, and been playing very ordinarily, the Preston Football Club, for 3 games, and let's see if they can redeem themselves against the lacklustre Vale. Nice to see Jeff Anderson back in the team too. And these 2 young boys, the Quinn brothers, Tony and Darren, in for their first game today, and Tony Collins back. He's had plenty of games, but hasn't been in one for a while. The Vales with a howling breeze. Anderson's dobbed one straight
First
away.
kick, how's that?
First kick back after 6 weeks off.
What a great start.
And nice bit of play by Tony Collins.
Yes.
I suppose the selectors will want us to wrap him up for picking him, do they? We
well,
played 49 seconds into the first quarter with a 7 or 8 goal breeze, and the Vales have put one through by their captain, Jeff Anderson, who's been out since the Coburg game with that depressed fracture of the cheekbone.
Beautiful kick. What do you reckon, Jimmy? This is where you come in, son.
I think it's exactly what the Springvale side wanted, and I'm quite sure it's exactly what Jeff wanted as well.
There's a
Bit
blue
of a
one.
dust on in the centre with
got that,
young Holden and Martin Mendy and a couple of
Good cover by Shane.
blokes from over the other side.
Who's
Mark
35,
Yeomans. Mark Yeomans. He's come into the side today for Preston.
Well,
now Preston have done what I despise.
What's
is
that?
named 6 men on the bench. Now we'll have to wait until we see who is actually
Well,
playing for
Yeomans
this
is
mob.
being tagged very strictly. You've got to pick all these things up, Jimmy. You're a footballer, by young Holden, of course. And that's what the Blues all about, Neil.
So it's back in the centre. Beautiful bounce by the umpire. Big Bloomfield playing well. He gets a quick kick there from Gray. It's into the 4 line. Here's young Paxton. Gets a hand pass out to the player streaming in the goal as Maloney. Can't control it. He gets his kick into the forward pocket, but defending well is McCain, Dale McCann.
It's a free kick to
And
Tony
he's
Quinn.
going to pay a free kick to young Tony Quinn, his first kick in senior ranks.
He was shepherded, Jimmy. Did you see that with the elbow?
Yeah, the bloke came in with the elbow a bit high, and obviously that's not on, and the umpire gave the free kick accordingly.
And Tony having a shot at
Do you
goal
reckon
in
he'll
front of
dob
the-
it, Jimmy?
He'll go close.
Oh, what?
Here's his kick. Oh, it's a beautiful kick off the boot with that bruise, but it's offline and through for 1 point. And of course, Tony wearing the famous number 31, an old teammate of yours, Jimmy. Terry Freeman now coaching the 2s. And nice to see Terry hand the jumper across the 31 over to his cousin.
Did he physically do that?
I think it's his cousin, isn't it? Or
No,
is
did he physically do it?
Oh, I don't think he gave the jumper round. I was officiating. I can't remember.
Oh,
who.
you're speaking metaphorically now, Neil.
Well, it's significant that Terry retired after his illustrious career, and the 31 went to young Tony.
Yeah, who is his cousin, I think.
Who's his cousin? Yes, well done, young Darren Quinn. Forced the ball out of bounds. They reckon it was off the boot. I don't know about that.
You're technically right, but morally wrong. Morally wrong, that decision.
Grat Salvador is the forward, the elusive forward. Is Graham Dempster held, and he's given a free kick to Neil Jordan, the big ruckman from Preston. Jordan sends him forward against his Howling Keys in the back, but it's a lovely mark in front, taken by Paul Zarella, and he's in. He came off the interchange bench, so he's in the side. Zarella, 14, short pass, didn't achieve much there, and he gave it to Neil White. White deep in the forward pocket.
I reckon it'll go over today.
What, the stand?
Yep.
Oh, I don't think it's as ferocious as last time, as the West game.
Well, Johnny Alligate's having trouble running into it.
Neil White
Seems to be running backwards.
with a shot at goal. It's not a
goal.
Not a good kick.
It's
It's
not
one behind, and it'll be sent back into play by Peter Keys. I'll just pick up who's not playing.
Well, for them,
In the list. It's a beautiful list this week. I've used a bit of.
beautiful stuff. Yeah, you've got that. Not on camera.
I spent a bit of time at work on Friday putting this one together.
We should mention, Neil, that Dempster's playing at centre-half back as selected and Clark at centre-half forward.
Good.
That's of interest to the blokes in the bath.
Oh, sure.
There's not too many in there today.
Oh, well, there's not too many here. Full stop. Here's the throw-in on the centre wing. Salvador over the back. Nobody can get a clear punch out. It's scrambly play and it'll be balled up. Umpires are Gleeson, aren't they? And
Well, we heard them as we were doing our pre-match. Freddie jumped in again.
of course. Scrambly play. No, he can get it out. Is coming through for the Vale is Holden. Got a wild hand pass. Dempster's in the van. He'll keep running in a straight line. He got a hand pass. It's into the glue pot.
Oh,
Nice hip and shoulder by Paul Dudley. Dudley's got the ball now. He gets grabbed though, and he'll get a free kick for holding the ball. That was a bit red hot, I thought.
No, he'd gotten rid of the ball, Neil, and he was being held onto still, and so I was holding.
He gives a hand pass out. Yes,
Downfield.
gives a hand pass to Holden,
Downfield, Anderson's free kick.
and Holden, as he got rid of the ball, as he delivered the ball into the forward line, he got a shove from behind, and Jeff Anderson a chance to bring up the Vales and his own second goal.
This should be a goal, Jimmy, you reckon? Put you on the
well,
spot.
Jeff doesn't miss very many from there,
So
so I'd
what's-
say he'll put it through.
Right, good.
Here's the skipper. I think it's one
geez,
behind.
Artless,
Poor
Jimmy.
kicking. He should have probably
He's
kicked
let
it
me
from
down
there.
again.
I think that was the box, mate. Give us the... Look. Get going into this. We've got to warm up or else I get so bloody cold. Anyhow, the Preston full... Who's the Preston full back, Neil?
I don't know.
Oh. He's kicking it in anyhow.
Who cares?
Straight into the teeth of the wind. And Clark, very high up, but can't manage to pull the mark in. And number 8 is White for Preston, gets it across his teammate. Clayton Howard played a great game against Williamstown last week. Tries to mark. Going in half of the ball is David Bryan. He's the captain, Neil.
Yes.
Don't know him.
Very good player.
Is he? It's a bounce down, and Bloomfield, who's been killing them, up against the Preston player in Keenan, who gets the hit out, comes across to Bryan, the captain. Short pass, but Tony Collins playing in front. Good play, Tony. Kicks it long and right out to the right flank. Tony Quinn playing in front of his opponent. Hand pass to Paxson. Didn't come off. Hand pass again. Didn't come off. But he's still there, and it's holding the ball. And it's a free kick to Anderson. And it is a bit red hot, but who knows?
Actually, I think it was a good tackle.
Good tackle there.
No doubt.
He gave him all of half a second to get rid of that.
Well, we've got a
Well,
footballer up
if
there
it's
with
a
us.
perfect tackle. It doesn't matter how long he's given to get rid
15.
of it.
Who's that that's marked the ball?
Rossi Gray.
That's Rossi Gray.
Gray, mate.
Rossi Gray, and he has got 15, as
Yeah.
Neil Brown predicted.
This Yeoman's a bit of a lout, I think. Bit of a...
Well, I don't think he's ever been tagged before, and I don't think he likes it, Neil. Were you ever tagged in your career, Jim?
Once or twice, Steve, but...
Well, at Noble. It's a goal. What do you think of that play, Jimmy? How's Springvale going?
Well, obviously, Laurie said to them to go in and hit Preston hard and try to unbalance them. and they've laid a couple of good tackles on, a couple of good bumps here and there, and they've unsettled them a bit. And I think the plan's working at the moment.
The plan's working. What do you think? They've gone out to attack the man, you're saying?
No, they're being a bit more aggressive towards the ball.
Right, and yet they're harassing their opponents. You did say that.
Well, if your opponent's got the ball, you've got to dispossess him.
Okay, fair comments. Who's the Preston run? It looks like Clark, the Brown player. Now, Bloomfield gets across to Maloney, across
Beautiful
to
handball.
Martin Mendy. Honest, they call him, and honest he is. Kicks the ball down. It was a pretty sloppy kick. Paxton couldn't take the mark. Clark going in hard, but it's against Dudley, and it's a free kick to number 12, which is Dintinosanti. Is that right? Renato Dintinosanti.
Yeah, you pronounce it how you like, mate.
Well, how do you pronounce it?
I think they nicknamed him Rintin Tinner.
No, Dintinosanti. Now, we do things professionally up here, and it's over Clark's head and marked by Keenan. Tony Keenan, no relation to Crackers, kicks it very high in the air. Tony Quinn behind his opponent. He's on a good player, if that's Salvador he's on. A very, very good football, and he's kicked it straight across to the little fella in white, Neil White. Those loose ones they've got to pick up. Keys, in the back to Springvale. I think it's Tony Collins again. No, it's Clayton Howe. The helmeted Clayton Howe kicks it very, very high under the ball, and a good mark to Big Bloomers. Geez, he's improved, hasn't he, Jimmy?
Most definitely. From a rugby player to
A very efficient first division
he's done
player.
very well.
Yes, and that was a bad kick by Rossi Gray. Didn't give Anderson, his captain, any opportunity. Tony Collins, he's trying very, very hard. He's going to make sure that he makes the most of this opportunity in the first, and good luck to him. And now it's Preston kicking the ball. That's a good kick. Big Graham Dempster can't mark the ball. Cops a solid bump. Going through is Clayton Howe. Dean Holden comes out to the Preston player. Springvale's in the van here. Peter Keys went straight down his throat. Runs 20, 30 yards and a lovely pass. Good on you, Peter Keys. That's using the ball. And Fife, Greg Fife on the mark from Paul Dudley. Kicks it to the wrong pocket, but there's space there for Anderson, the runner. He'll hook it back, but there's not much chance of kicking goals from that pocket, and it's out of bounds at the Roma sign. Very hard to kick goals from there, Jimmy.
Yes, especially with the wind blowing the way it is, but
Well,
of
yeah.
course, if you allow enough, you can always swing it back.
So you don't think it is impossible to kick goals
Not-
from this pocket?
It's not impossible at all, no.
I've seen Jimmy kick many goals from that pocket.
I think he was waiting for that. Throw in. Clark hits the ball down towards Paxton, who's very busy. Went for the free kick, ducked his head. Umpire didn't fall for that. You're in First Division, Sonny. Goes across to the Preston player. Oh, here's a chance. If ever I've seen one. Hit away from Tony Quinn. Bloomfield. Gray calling for it. Maloney
Good
across
handball.
to Clayton Howe, who's fouled after he kicked the ball, but it's out of bounds in front of Phoenix sides. That's
Maloney's chipped in with a couple of beautifully timed handballs today.
yes. As Neil Brown said, he's spot on there, and you'll be hearing a lot from Neil today because Neil doesn't have to walk the dog or something. Is that right, Neil?
Ah, bullshit, I've got to walk the dog.
All right. Anderson copped one in the head, but it's play on from the umpire. Fife, he's been a good player for years. It's a free kick to Fife for touching him on the head, and it goes across to Keenan. Keenan fumbles the ball. Springvale are harassing their opponents and trying hard to get rid of the ball with Paul Zarella. Coming through is Paxton with a rip jumper.
Handball.
He's going to have a shot. And Quinn, unfortunately, couldn't get his hands to the ball, and McCann for Preston. He's the fullback. Kicks it down towards Dempster, who overruns the ball. Coming through is Jordan, I think it is. He's the ruckman, and he ran past our Rovers. Comes over to Brian, the captain. Brian kicks it to young player in
Gratz
Salvador. Salvador chips it over to the full forward. Overrunning the ball is Keys. I don't know who this Preston player is. He's got it across to the little player in Yeomans. And Yeomans, he's been told to have a shot. And it's not an easy kick from there, is it, Jim?
No, not into this wind. I think he might even have a bit of trouble reaching the distance.
Okay, well, we'll just see what happens.
Oh, he's banged it through post high. Good
Right.
calling, boys.
Jimmy Fontiotis, what have you got to say about that?
I was trying to put the moz on him.
Okay, Jim. Well, looks like we've got as good as quality guest commentators we usually have, Neil. They haven't got the first idea about it, these
Up
blokes.
to our standard.
Yeah, about our standard. Neil Brown's your commentator now.
Well, that's a nice goal by the Preston player in for his first game for a while, this fellow.
Yeomans.
He's an aggressive type of little bloke. He's been in a few stoushes early in the game. It's against Preston for an extra man in the...
No, he pushed Holden over.
Oh, did he? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Holden gets a free kick, sends the Vale a shocking kick.
Terrible.
Gave nobody much of a chance, and they all overrun the ball. Player in position is Dale McCann, who runs away from him and out of bounds.
Well, I hope they give these young fellas every opportunity, Neil, and keep them on the field, regardless of what the circumstances are.
Well, I'm sure they will. There's not much point in doing otherwise. There's the throw-in. Hit out, won by Clark. Mendy. Good play, Mendy. Puts it through. Lovely goal.
What do you think of that, Jimmy?
Lovely hit out by...
down by Jeff Clark. Martin Mendy was on the run when he took the ball and had that fraction of time to steady and put it right through the centre.
Nice bloke, honest. Have you met him, Jim?
Yes, I've met him.
Have you, Neil?
Martin, yeah, very nice bloke.
You've met him? When?
Oh, you've interviewed him.
Oh, you've interviewed him. Yeah, but that's different. That's plastic.
Well, that's meeting the bloke,
Have
isn't
you
it?
ever had a drink with him and a talk with him? Why don't you get out and talk to these
I
blokes?
train bloody dogs. I'm not spending half my life over here. I've done that for 14 years.
Yes, you have, too.
And then they don't remember you too well either. Here's Clayton Howe and Peter Bloomfield. You know, all you do is get up cop abuse.
Yeah, well, that's life, isn't it, mate?
Sure is. Here's the bounce down. The umpires I found out are Gleeson and Ross Walker.
Right.
Big bloomers again.
There's Darren Quinn.
Tries to grab it, got his a short kick in. Strong play by the Preston forward. Shoots it forward, looking for Jamie Shaw, intercepting his Letts. Letts dives on the ball, stacks on the mill. Nearly pushing it back, but he's going to pay a bounce down.
Could have gone either way then, Neil.
Here's the bounce. Hit out by Bloomfield.
Towards Preston.
Keys got a quick hurried kick. It favours the Preston player. He handballs over the top to Salvador.
Good
Oh.
bump. Beautiful
Salvador.
bump by
Quinn
Maloney.
clears the ball.
Salvador, mate.
Yes, it certainly was. It was Maloney set him up. They had about 3 opponents there, though. But he's hurt Salvador,
He
and
hit
he's
him
a
right
very
in the
good
head.
forward for them. A hurry kick forward by the captain.
Good
Caught
tackle.
with a ball. Great tackle by Collins.
Well
Here's
done,
Quinn. Well
Darren.
done. Hand passed over to Paxton. Paxton to Letts, and good play by the Vale, showing a bit of spirit today. But the kick is a poor one into the foreline, and this is where we see them get let down day after day after day.
They're disposed.
Din and Sando kicks it up, and we see them, Preston side, shoot it back into the forward line, looking for Shaw, but
Peter.
Keys should have marked it. He nearly should have been paid too. He get a hurried kick, but there's only Preston
look
here.
at this
Darren
ball.
Quinn. Good handball by young Quinn. Over to Collins. Collins a nice tap to
football,
Gray.
that's that.
Gray over to Dudley, and that was good football, and they're looking all right to Vala. Looking for Anderson. He backs back. Here's Holden. No, well done by White. White now, long sleeve play, well smothered by Clark. Clark still in there for the Vale. Grabs possession, well done. Short kick,
Look
looking
for
for Jeff Anderson. Made good position to win, grabbed the ball. Here's Tony Quinn. It'll be brushed out of bounds. Over the line in front of the Woolly sign. Some good passes of play out of the back line by Springvale.
Yes, that was
And
lovely
obviously playing nothing like they did last week when they got beaten by 80 points.
play. No comment.
Here's the throw-in. Clark over the top. It's Greg Fife, the former Collingwood player. He plays on. He's a great player.
He is a good
Former
player.
representative for the VFA this year. Shoots the ball into the centre. No one home for Preston. 2
Oh.
Springvale players. Collins finally marked the ball.
Played
Gave
well.
it over to Letts. It's play on. Holding the man against
Very
Clayton
bad play
Howe.
by Clayton
And
Howe
the
on
free
two
kick will be
occasions.
taken by
Jimmy Fontenay-Otis.
Stephen
I
Ross.
think it was a bit silly by Clayton there. Obviously, he was trying to make sure that Letzi was clear, but
He's butted up.
A shocking kick straight into the man on the mark by Ross. He's backed up. He's got Brian, his captain, for support, and he gets another chance this time. This short pass is better. It's on the button to Keenan, and Keenan will take the mark on centre wing. He hand passes quickly to the player who made lovely position out there. Shoots the ball up, and this player will take the grab, and it's Paul Zarella. Zarella now. Salvador's bounced up. He looks okay after that bump. Paul Zarella. High kick. It's not a baddie. It's curling around, and I think it'll be marked by Jamie Shaw, the big full forward. He caused the Vale a lot of trouble out at Preston.
He's playing centre forward today, Neil. Oh, so this quarter he is, anyhow.
As he's kicked straight through for a goal. He kicked, I think he kicked 7 or 8. He was most impressive out at Preston in the second game of the year, third game of the year.
Who did he play on? Wasn't Billy King, I don't think.
No, I can't remember.
Might have been Rod Smith, I think.
Oh, I doubt it. It could have been one of many players. But Shaw played for the VFA also, and he's a very
Jimmy, you're not up here to look at the game and enjoy it, mate. We want some good
very
comments
good-looking
from
players. 3-2-20 to 2-1-13.
When something happens, I'll make a comment.
you. Okay. That was a goal.
It's a nice mark by the bloke. It was a nice kick of goal into the breeze. And they held Springvale pretty well into that breeze.
It's a 6 or 7 goal win, Neil.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Here's Keenan, hit over the back but grabbed by Dempster. A hurried kicks, rolling along the ground. All kicked off the deck, and it finds Jordan. And it's Jordan for Preston. He'll hand pass over to Terry White, the experienced veteran for Preston. Sends it up, and Jamie Shaw's beautiful mark in front. Far too good for Peter Keys. He gives away a dumb 15 metres, which has made a certain goal of it. A very stupid and frustrated veteran player, Keys. And I emphasise the word veteran.
What do you mean? What do you think of that, Jimmy?
Well, I think with Preston kicking into a win like this, it's absolutely essential that our backmen play in front. And that was a classic example of what happens when you play from behind.
Dempster's going to full-back, I think you'll
It's a lovely goal by Shaw. And you're sure he's playing at centre forward, Steve?
No, he just went back to full forward. And what they
he just went back there, did he?
Just a minute.
He's
And
been at full forward all day, you goose.
just a minute. Now, Dempster's going back on him, you see. What happened was he went back. Jimmy, would you back me up there?
Jimmy doesn't know whether he's been playing at centre forward or not.
Come on. So what happened is they moved Shaw back and Dempster's now gone back down.
The bloke's a
Well,
full
I think
forward.
it's a good move anyway.
It is a good move to keep Dempster on him. But we'll have a look at the replay now.
3-2 to 3-1. Bloomfield wins the hit out, but it doesn't favour any Vale play here. Clark got a touch along the ground. Now he backs it up and picks it up. Over to Mendy's got a few descending on him, but he gets his kick well. Rockets it into the centre line. Nobody can mark. Here's Fife, a good defender. Dudley hardly... He pressed him, but he gets a bit of support from his Preston teammates. He shoots up the wing, and poor disposal finds Peter Bloomfield.
Killing him, this bloke.
Hand pass over the main. He's got a few opponents, but he runs around nicely. Right foot kick finds Dudley right on the button, and Dudley should be able to go from there.
Well, he kicked 4 beautiful goals last week at Williamstown, mate. 3 in the first quarter. Very accurate kick for goal.
Beautiful disposal by Maloney. Found Dudley, saw him out the corner of his eye, all by himself, and put it straight to him.
Neil's a bit of a rap for Peter Maloney.
I think he's a very good player, actually.
Lovely goal by Dudley. Puts it straight through.
Of course, great player, and no one. But I'm just saying, I think he's Neil's favourite this year. And
Is he?
That's fair enough too. He is a good.
Well,
player.
he'll go a long way then if he's his favourite.
We've recruited a lot of players, and I haven't never seen many that kick the ball, use the ball every time they do get it.
You're right.
100%. In fact, I haven't seen any.
In fact, you like that sort of player, don't you?
Well, that's the rudiments of the game, isn't it?
Well, how's that? Rudiments, 3 syllables.
I think he's been reading a
absolutely
dictionary.
Kill him lately, Brownie. And he's having a swig on a can, and he's come.
Well, you blokes started that, drinking up here. I'm more professional, but anyway. Down to Yeomans, straight into attack, Preston. Keys has come out at centre half back. Collins is there to give him support. Shoots it up the wing. It's a dreadful kick. Over to Bryan. Bryan knows a bad hand pass. Diving into the ball was Collins, and they jump in.
They're fair dinkum, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, Maloney's in there and jumping on top of blokes, and they're nice to see.
Well, they're showing a bit of spirit. That's the main thing.
Oh, that's good.
Maloney and White are chesting each other. Player used to chest like that was Mel Gunn. Remember Mel Gunn?
Yeah, good.
The best chester I've ever seen.
Sold me my house, Mel.
He sold you your house?
Yes, bought my house off, Mel.
Oh, well, obviously...
I think he was a better real estate man than he was footballer.
Well, he'd probably make a lot more money doing that. He did you a good turn, though. Very nice home you've got.
Sure did, yeah. There's the hand pass from young Darren Quinn out to Keys. Keys has got nowhere to go. He's got a few opponents. His kicks found Mendy. Mendy doing very well in this first quarter. We've played 22 minutes.
Quiet tip for our best and fairest.
And Mendy, I don't start tipping that stuff.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Well, at least you've got a few blokes that aren't on the ground that usually get 1 million votes. Tell me, where's the prodigal son? Here's
What's
Clayton Howe. Where's Quaker? Is he injured or something?
Oh, yeah, still injured. Games Anderson.
Yes, pushed his opponent. Play on. Good umpiring. It was a shocking kick. Went along the ground. Gray got it. Over to Dudley. It's bounces all right for him. He gets his hurried right foot kick, but it's offline and through for a bit.
Yeah, Neil, my turn.
Yours certainly is.
It's a 24-minute mark, and it's my second go on the bloody... Geez, he hogs the mic, doesn't he, Jimmy?
He loves to hear himself talk, I think.
John Watt
John Watt.
has just come off, and Stephen Ross has come back on.
Well done, Neil, and he's calling well. Anyhow, the fullback kicks it in. It's a beautiful long kick into the wind, but it's favoured Dudley, no one else. He taps it over to Maloney, who's definitely held when he didn't have the ball.
Kick.
And White, good tackle by the Springvale player. I think that was Collins, who's tackling very well, but they're running the ball out of the back line, as they usually do, this Preston side. Chipped it over to Clayton Howe and his opposite number, Stephen Ross, who's just come on the ground. Out of bounds in front of the Ted Carroll sign.
Well, they've had 3 bad losses, Steve, and they...
in a row?
They have to win today. They certainly have got to re-establish themselves as a Final Four proposition, Preston.
Well, it's certainly not looking like it at the moment. It comes across to Keys, who handballs, tackled by Collins when he didn't have the ball, and it's an obvious free kick. It is Tony Collins, yes, to the Preston player who left foots it. A beautiful kick in front of goal. Tony Shaw and Dempster playing on him, punches the ball away. This will take courage. Rossi Gray handballs across to Anderson, tries to kick it off the ground. Play on's the call. There's screaming ball on the bench, which is their want. Number 3, you haven't listed him, Neil. Not your fault, of course. Comes out to Peter Keys. Keys to Darren Quinn, who was tackled too high against commentators. Clayton Howe puts his head down and nearly lost it from Big Shaw.
I think they're screaming ball because they want us to get it.
Oh, is that what you mean? Tough passage of play, Jimmy Fotniatis.
It was. I think the Preston players are starting to go to the man and not the ball.
Well,
and,
that's good.
I think their confidence is a bit rattled.
Good. Well, Bloomfield going hard. Coming through is Steve Ross. Gets it over to Zarella. Paul Zarella. Very high. Tony Collins. Heaps of courage under the ball. Great mark. And he's off. Intercepted though. They're too sharp for this mob. Yeomans playing very well. Gets it over to Salvador. Has a shot at the goal, and he may well be affected by that knock he got in the head, Neil.
Well, you said I didn't list number 3 was because he was not listed on the Preston team list in last week's record. And you'll notice if you go down to the bottom of your page...
Yes, McKeon. Is that number 3?
And if you correspond with your Preston team list of this record...
Yes.
You'll find it's Mark McKeon.
Tony Quinn takes a mark. Hurry on, they're saying to him. He gets it across to Clark. If it bounces right way, I think it was touch.
Point.
Yes.
Bit of bad luck.
Bad luck by Quinny. If he took his time, he might well have kicked that goal. But anyhow, he did the right thing by the team. And good play, Jimmy.
It was very good play, but from that sort of distance with this wind, I think I would have steadied.
Well, you would have steadied. There's absolutely no doubt in the world you would have steadied. Anyhow, number 3, McKeon. How far is he allowed to run this bloke? Now, it gets it across to Jordan, and he's well known, this fella. Isn't he an ugly-looking player? But he's
very untidy.
Very effective. Gets it across to Beer, Ian Beer, who was left alone by Dudley. Kicked high by Beer to Salvador, and Quinn having a good duel. Good recovery by Salvador. Let's very, very tight. Stephen Ross, Clayton Howe. Clayton Howe, the range just starting to come down. Gets it over to Darren Quinn. He loves to handball, and good Shepherd's son. Cross to Peter Maloney, and that kicking let him down this time. Nearly a good mark by Jordan and Paul Dudley. Keenan handballs across to White. Neil White this is. White kicks it across the line. There's Terry White and Neil White.
I think I'd like to see Springvale get a couple more goals before the end of the quarter, Steve.
Oh, so would I. But do you think they will, Jimmy?
Well, they'd need to.
Jordan hurt himself then. Bloom has hit him in the face. Unintentional.
It's an accidental backhander.
Peter Bloomfield, the most gentle man you've ever met in your life. Oh, and Jordan went straight at Bloomfield then. Hit him right in the comic cuts, and a cowardly act. And he's very, very lucky that it's Peter Bloomfield and not someone else who would have copped one back for it. And you saw that on camera. The umpire obviously didn't see it.
Oh, I hope the camera picked it up because I didn't see anything. That's the
Well,
biggest.
did you see that, Jim?
That's the dumbest outburst I've ever heard.
Please be quiet.
Why
Jim,
didn't the umpire
You
pick
can
it
see
up?
Jordan running straight for it.
Thank you very much, Jim, and I'm glad
wanted
you're
to
up
leave it
here
up,
today.
Why didn't bloody umpire pick it up and play it for a
Because
kick?
he was
blind
onside.
side.
It was that bad.
Thank you very much. On the blind side. Hits it back to Maloney. That's good football. Back to Hal. That wasn't meant, but it come off. Oh, and Hal knew he was going to cop it and stuck his bum out. Free kick to Rossi Gray. No doubt about that. This is a pretty tough sort of game, Jimmy.
Well, we're putting our bodies in and we're getting into the ball first.
Well, we're not putting our bodies in, Jimmy.
as
thank
in Springvale.
heavens. Anderson under the ball, in fact was. Oh, puts his head down. Can't get free kicks doing that. And Clark chips it across off the side of the boot to Fife. Is having a field day. Kicks the ball, beautiful left foot kick. Unfortunately, it's found no one. Unfortunately for Preston, it's found Gray, who was kicked after he kicked the ball, but the umpire said no, he wasn't. Quinn drops the mark, and they're backing up beautifully. Din Tunders, or whatever he is. Dim Sim gets it across
We'll just
to
call him Dino.
Dino, yes, to Bloomfield, to Collins. Collins falls over and the ball's out of bounds. But they're showing a bit of fight, Springvale.
Preston's running the ball very well out of the back line, actually, I think, Steve.
That's the secret to their game. Clark wasn't awake then. It was his turn to go for that out and he didn't go for it. Bloomfield going through, so too helmeted Peter Keys across to Rossi Gray. Rossi Gray's 10, 20 yards clear. Kicks a long kick. Unfortunately, it's not straight and through for one behind. Jimmy Potniotis.
Yes, good play by Rossi Gray and good play by Peter Bloomfield as well. Get the handball across. Or Peter Keys, I should say.
What do you think is playing in these windy conditions? I see Paul Dudley there on his own. That's a good idea when they're kicking off.
Well,
What's that all about?
I think he's trying to confuse them, maybe.
Maybe he's taken a... Oh, I won't say it. Anyhow, it's number 9, John Watt, with the ball, and he'll kick the sloppy kick, and it goes to Hal and Stephen Ross. And Hal's the one who wins out on this occasion, and that's why he's there on his own, because he wanted the off-the-side kick, and it went straight to him. So that's a tactic to Springvale, someone to stand out there in the wind, Jim.
Do you think it's intentional, do you, Steve?
Oh, well, it'd have to be.
I see.
It came off too.
You think he was instructed by the match committee to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you know, they complain about not getting a wrap. You can't wrap them up when they don't do anything.
So you're going to give them a wrap for him standing out there on his own for the off-the-side kick.
His opponent, Greg Fife, has been the best man on the ground.
Yeah, but he's still on his own. Well, he's not now. Fife's picked him up. So who knows? Yeah, the ball's going to be kicked in. Very, very windy conditions. There'll be 35-minute quarters, I would think, Jimmy, with all the out of bounce. No, they're not. 31 minutes. Neil, you understand the game. Why would siren go when a bloke's out of bounds? Isn't that time on?
Yeah, oh, I don't know.
What about you, Jim?
How many games have we got to
Well, I
go?
believe
Is there 4?
Stop the recording. 5 minutes each.
Say that to me again and I'll go straight down the ladder
And what are you going to do?
for the rest. Well, I'll watch listen to you.
Oh, isn't it shocking? Peter and Jim, you've got to be...
Well,
Here's
you're going
Paul
to
Hart.
the bar, are you, Neil?
No, I'm going to our bar.
No, Brest the bar.
Rest the bar, I
Not
said.
Preston
Oh.
bar.
Sorry. I didn't quite hear you, Jim.
There's the Seagulls.
And it's 4-5-29 to 3 goals 2-20, and we should see if Preston are any good. An Avalanche with this breeze. They should be able to... they kicked 3 against it, which is a good effort, and we should be able to see them assert their ascendancy if they've got any.
Interesting to see Jordan not playing in the ruck anymore, Neil. Chadban gave him a hiding.
It looks like Tony Keenan.
Think he's any relation?
No, he's not. He gets a hit out, but it rolled over the top of Zarella's
Gee whiz, the runner's on straight away.
head, and it'll be a bounce down. Yes, you would think that they would say what they wanted to say to him without 30 seconds sending the runner onto the ground. Here's Keenan, nobody can get the hit out. Holden gets his kick. It's into the forward line. Here's Clark, he grabs it. He tried to get a hand pass to Dudley. It wasn't a good one. Dudley punches it back to Gray. He's caught, blatantly caught with the ball, and the free kick will be taken by Johnny Watt, I think it is, number 9. His short pass is a shocking one to Keenan. He was pretty casual, but he grabs it now. He's got not too many... Oh,
Great smother by
Maloney, great smother there, but he's got backup support from Dino. Dino got it over to Graham Anderson, the great player for Preston. Keenan.
Oh, what was going
Let's
on
over
there?
to Collins. Collins mucked it up, and
Stephen
here's the
Letts.
first of their many goals, I'd say, for the quarter. Looking at that, Neil White was the scorer, and what a mess that was. Let's sort of just bashed it in to give them an advantage. Anyway,
I think the problem there with Neil was lack of talking.
Yeah,
Yes.
but Peter Keys hit it over to him on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of grabbing it off, he wouldn't grab it.
It was the wrong thing to do. He probably thought that he was under a bit of pressure and no one told him that he had time to grab the ball.
right. 4-5 to 4-2. We've played a minute and a half into the second term, and a pretty easy goal, one they probably shouldn't have got. I noticed the teammates call this man Crackers.
Yeah, they do. Well, I was just wondering if he is a relation, because he's standing a long way back.
I'm sure he's not.
No, he's still got his own teeth, anyhow. It's against Anderson, I think. Definitely
Yeah, it's free
against
kick
Anderson.
to Keenan. He hand passes very sloppily, but can get away with it through McKeon. His kick goes up, looking for Yeomans and Salvador. Darren Quinn slips over, and Salvador will just chip past, but doesn't favour anyone, and Clayton Howe fails to mark, but he backs up and shoots a hurried kick straight to Greg Fife, and is a very good player, the former Collingwood player.
He's having a bloody ball today.
Joined Preston during the middle of last season. Beautiful pass, a deadly pass to Jamie Shaw, leading out and proving a handful again for the Vale as this Preston spearhead. It's over to you, Steve.
Oh, it's not 5 minutes yet, Neil.
Oh. Didn't want you to think I was hogging it.
No.
Out it goes, Phoenix signs. It's a dreadful kick by Shaw.
But as soon as it's 5 minutes, I'm going to snatch your mic out of your mouth.
Okay. Here's the throw in. As Letts, Yeomans has a quick kick at goal, goes over the top, and out of bounce on the full. And we're seeing some dreadful football just at this particular juncture of the game.
Yeah, it's a bit dull.
Tony Collins sends it back. I think the wind will grab it and blow it straight out of bounds on the full. And the shocking football continues.
Johnny Alligate's off the go. I tell you, he's earned his quid today, Johnny.
Mark McKeon centres the ball. Big Mark wanted. Shaw nearly grabbed it. I think he did on the second bite. Very
Play
good,
on.
Mark. No,
Umpire
play on
hasn't-
was the call. Sure, they all stopped as if he did mark it, and this has allowed Maloney to come through. He gets a left-handed hand pass to the captain, Anderson. Anderson's hand pass is a bad one. He's got plenty of support. He backs it up himself, boots it off the ground. But he always got some opponents. This boy hand pass it out. Mendy grabs it. Didn't have the
Good
ball.
courage.
Anderson sockers it over to Paxton. Paxton to Maloney. Maloney, lovely hand pass to Clark. Clark's got a bit of time. Shoots it over to Dudley. Dudley grabs it now. Has a snapshot.
Why would he have
And
a
it's
shot
gone
from
straight out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to be taken by the Preston defender.
Well, that was good play by the Springvale players then. They backed each other up and ran the ball into the forward line. It was just a bit of poor finishing off that
That's right.
spoiled it all.
Yeah. Good comments from
The
our
short pass out.
special commentator.
Went to Keenan. Keenan's kick goes up. Keys is there. He's got support from young Quinn. Over to Clayton Howe. Howe's kick is to 3 Preston players. He had Rossi Gray, I think it was his target, but it was an awkward kick to him, as only we know Clayton knows how. And here's the kick into the foreline by Fife, and it's been marked by Graham Dempster. Dempster now, oh, it's a strong breeze. The ball really holds up in the air. Punch down off hands. Here's Gray. Gray over to Paxton. Paxton now shoots it forward. A dreadful
Some
kick.
shot
Absolutely dreadful. He had 4 players to give it to. He kicked it straight to Terry White. Well, maybe that indicates why he's in the twos most of the time. Here's Dempster. Dempster shoots the ball out cleverly this time. He's got 2 players. And Paul Dudley, a long hand pass as he draws the play. It wasn't real good, this. Got it over to Clayton Howe. Howe's got Holden in the
Shepherd,
pocket.
Clark. Shepherd.
He brushes the tackle off. Has one look at them. It's not going to swing round. In fact, it'll be not make the
Did
distance.
that surprise you out of shot now?
Oh, not at all. Terry White will take the free kick and a resultant penalty against Maloney. He shoots the hand pass out. This player is Graham Anderson.
Right, your 5 minutes is up and I've got it. It's back to Clayton Howe and he's going to kick a sloppy looking kick. Tony Quinn takes the mark and I'm a wrap for this fella.
Oh, you ever? Have you ever been pushing up for this bloke?
I have been and I reckon he's a great footballer, this kid. Reminds me of a clever type of old-fashioned type of player. And I think he might dob this. Hope he does. Will it make the distance? Clark takes the mark. No, he doesn't.
Yes, it's been paid.
Yes, it does. I'm sorry, I thought number 14, which is Paul Zarella. What do you think of this, Jimmy?
Well, I think of Clark in particular, do you mean? Or?
Oh, anything. What do you think? What's your thoughts? Have you got any thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are on Jeff Clark for a start. I think he's a very good footballer. He's a very mobile big man.
Yes.
Which we've needed, and I'll tell you what, I think this Springvale side's going to give Preston a bit of a run for their money.
Well, a terrific goal into the wind there, Neil, wasn't it?
A nice mark by young Tony Quinn and
was a good
and
kick
equally
as
as
well,
good a mark by Clark.
Oh, yes, a top mark by Clark. But I thought Quinn's mark, it was a very bad, ugly ball to mark, and it was a good effort. Bounced down, and Bloomfield getting the hit out, but they run out of this back line, this mob. Martin Mendy, he has no fear. But there's too many players backing each other up,
Smothered by
trying for the free kick, and he definitely fooled the umpire who was on the blind side there. It's White, of course. Terry White, the vice-captain, kicks it high. Punched away by Dempster, who's playing a good game today. And he's had a pretty ordinary season, Graham. Oh, look, it's out. It could be a goal there by Preston. Not much opportunity of missing there. And it is a goal. Too many there together, Jimmy Fotmiotis.
Well, when you got the numbers, Steve, it's pretty hard to get the ball off them, and our backmen were...
well, they're all
just
wearing
flat-footed
numbers.
a bit,
Is that what you mean?
Well, take it whatever way you like.
They're all wearing numbers. Is that what? If you've got a number, you're right. Is that what you're saying?
I think everyone's got a man, and if you stick to your man, you've got a 50-50 chance of getting the ball.
Yes, 50-50 chance. And they had 4-1 there, so they had a 4-1 chance of getting the ball, didn't they, really?
Well, that's right, Steve. You're pretty good with the odds, aren't you?
No. I'll tell you what, though, I haven't wasted any money on a particular dog that's running around the bush lately. And from what I've heard, there's a big, strong rumour around that there's a possum's going to be eaten very shortly. Anyhow, bounced down, and it's Bloomfield. Gets the hit away to Maloney, who can't handball and is tackled very crudely, and will take the free kick. Number 14, Paul Zarella. Peter Maloney, a beautiful low kick. One-hander from Jeffrey Clark. How was that, Jimmy?
Absolutely magnificent. He seems to be able to pull in the odd one-hander once or twice during every game. I've seen him do it a few times.
Yeah, he's a great mark. Tony Quinn. Now I'm calling Tony Jimmy. Now, gee, fair dinkum, Steve. You're lucky I'm on the special light. Anyhow, big, long kick. Clayton Howe, Peter Keys at the back. And Peter Maloney overruns the ball. Paxton comes out to Fife.
I think Paxton tapped it away from him, didn't he?
Well, no comment. And it's quite obvious you don't like Greg Paxton.
I didn't say anything about him, you know.
As a footballer, I meant, not as a boy. Anyhow, it's kicked in, and I think that's a sausage.
I've never said anything about Greg Paxton's football ability.
You did. You said that's why he's a seconds player when he kicked
Most of the time.
Yeah, well.
Well, he is.
Well, if that's not a shot at his ability, what is?
Well, he gets selected in the seconds. Maybe it's a shot at the selection committee.
Oh, right. You're not having a go at the match committee again, Neil. Fair.
Not me. That's
You'll
your
get
go.
me into trouble.
That's your go. They love you, mate.
They do love me. It's kicked in by Stephen
I was linked in reference to you before the game, and I'm not very happy about it.
You weren't, were you? What did they say to you?
We don't get much rap off those two, and I am loath to be
associated with me.
Well, that's dead
you
right.
can be associated with them if you like. Anyhow, beautiful mark by Dean Holden. He gets it across to Rossi Gray, who's going to have a ping at him. Puts it high into the air, and Tony Quinn can't take the mark. Still on the ground. Dudley giving support. Comes out to McCann, who's kicked a shocking kick. And that's out of bounds in the full. And there's a blue on, is there? Young Paxton. Fife and Dudley. Dudley and Fife.
Play football.
Play football.
Yeah, clowns. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's our comments. Pretty willing, Jimmy.
Yeah, I don't think
It's
Preston...
a free kick. Free kick to Dudley.
Well, that's a weak free kick if I've ever seen one.
Well, obviously Fife's gone off his head.
Oh, he did nothing. He tripped the bloke. It's the weakest free kick I've ever seen.
Well, I think the umpires are just trying to show the players that that they're in control of the game and they just can't do whatever they like, Neil.
Well, Neil.
That's fair enough, Jimmy. I know what they're trying to do, but it's weak. I hate to see weak free kicks.
Well, we've got a goal out of it anyway.
Well, he's kicked a goal.
Dudley's put it through, and Springvale, surprising, very surprising to me, are staying in the game. Well, they got beat by 80 points last week.
Yeah.
What do you want me to expect?
No, well,
on this
all I'd
side,
say is, mate, on our home ground.
this side have only lost 3
Yeah,
games
we
of
got
the
6
season.
new players in. We got young ones. Give it a go. No,
Well,
yeah,
I think, Neil, they've selected form players out of the seconds and that's the only way to do it, really.
you must keep picking form players. I'll go along with that, Jimmy. And I'd pick a couple more next week too. And it's Bloomfield. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not commentating. Neil's got the cardboards. And Rossi Gray has not stopped yelling at the umpires. Neil?
Well, maybe he's taught that from the bench. That's all they ever do, isn't it?
Your
Here's the
comment.
kick forward by Yeomans. It's dropped over the back. Blake should have marked it. It was very poor play by Watt, but he's had a bit of a shot. He made it look very hard, and it's out of bounds on the full.
Tony Collins gave that decision.
Yeah,
It was the correct one, too.
it was a correct decision.
Daddy's playing a good game now. We should be happy
6-5,
about.
41, 5-3, 33. Here's Tony Collins.
Playing well.
How old's Tony these days?
I think he's about 22 or 3, isn't he, Jimmy?
He must
yeah,
have played
he'd
when
be
he was
about that, I'd say.
14, did he, in the first?
No. He played the first year we were in VFA.
Here's the short pass. Oh, spare me. Who is this bloke? I think it's John Watt, number 9.
Number 9. He must have come on the ground. He's
Yeah,
playing
he's
on
been,
Tony Collins.
I think they've got the 5 on the interchange, but I haven't found anybody on this list that's not playing yet.
Oh, you reckon there's 5 on the interchange? Well, I'm sure our bench would have picked that up.
As he shot at goal, is through for a behind.
Doing all right, Springvale.
Well, you know, don't get carried away.
7 points in front. But I do remember Springvale being 6 goals in front of this mob last year. Do you remember that, Neil?
Yeah, it's an unfortunate day. That should have probably won the game with a
That
bit
was
more
Anderson's neck got hurt.
experience.
And he went off, and that's when Shane Blitz told us about the...
I think Kieran Holden made the difference in the game that day when he came on.
what did he do?
Played brilliantly.
We lost the game.
Here's the kick out. White takes an easy mark at the back.
Talking.
Another bloke that got on with the coach. Here's the kick up, punched out of bounds.
The Springvale defence seems to be holding up quite well, I think, Neil.
Hey, he got on as well with Laurie as Jimmy did with Spanner Spence at Naval Park.
Yeah, Jimmy. Well, Jimmy didn't get on with here either, so him and Scutey got the flick, so... But if I was a player, I would have got the bullet by now, wouldn't I, Neil?
Oh, you'd have been knocked out. Here's the kick up. Grabbed by Holden. Hand passed out. McKeon goes in hard. So does Dudley. Wins the ball. Here's Paxton. He's got Tony Quinn for support. Good handball by Tony Quinn
To
over
his
to his brother Darren. Darren sends the ball forward. Underneath it, it's dropped short. Darren follows
Good
it up
play.
and kicks it off the ground. Here's big loping strides of Jeff
at
Clark.
this.
Good handball over to the captain, Jeff Anderson. He's got a week to kick this. It won't bounce for him. He
never
runs around.
Seen such
Has a
bad
snapshot.
play.
Should have given it to Paxton. Paxton's got it now.
Jimmy.
Dreadful play. And push it through somebody and kick it back in. I'm sick of watching
Come
this
on,
garbage.
Jimmy,
How
what's
many
your
games
comments
are left?
here?
Well, I think Jeff should have attacked the ball then,
That
rather
was the
than waiting
worst
for it
thing
to
I've ever
bounce.
seen from the skipper.
It was,
You know I'm a rap for him.
It was a definite goal thrown away then.
It was thrown away. Good play by Darren Quinn.
Would have been an important goal. Beautiful kick out right into the centre. Big Jordan over the back. He can't mark. It's pushed down. Good play, Dudley. Playing well. He hasn't got the ball. Pushed over to Maloney. Maloney gets a lovely hand pass back to Tony Quinn. Fife will mark this. No, he doesn't. He's on top of the ball. Grabbed by Paxton. Well done. Hand passed it over. Left foot kick out of the fence. Let's not good enough. White grabs the ball.
Shouldn't be out there.
And here's White. Sends it forward. Over the back, Graham Dempster. Good mark.
Nice little push there,
Yes,
Jimmy.
very experienced little shove in the back by Dempster.
Oh, that's out of bounds. That wind is very strong.
Tony Collins runs out of bounds with it.
I might watch it on the monitor. Stay in the back here.
I'm very upset. I left my gloves at home.
You haven't, have you?
Yeah.
You're on FM radio, so keep it going.
It's Gray and Howell and Keenan. He shovels it out the back. There's lovely hand pass. He put young Quinn under a bit of pressure, Keys.
Shocking, yeah.
For an experienced player. Martin Mendy.
Well, I think it was more you can have it, I don't want it.
Probably, yeah.
Because
Mendy, honest as Steve. Steve's a great friend because he drinks with him. He can't even the first 2 games. Said he wasn't worth a crumpet. Mendy, if you don't mind. But since he had a beer with you, he's a champion.
I have never had a beer with Honest.
Here's Letts.
Oh, isn't he shocking?
Letts runs out of bounds. Now, don't try to tell me you didn't can him early.
He didn't play well early, no, but he has.
I thought he played very well early.
Oh, gee, his first game was very
Here's
good.
the throw in. Springvale hanging on with Preston with the Blues. It's an interesting game at this stage.
Good play,
There's
Martin, my mate.
There's dreadful football, but it's close at least.
Oh, the
Grab with
conditions
the ball,
aren't right.
and Springvale having a bit of a dip.
Yeah, well, it's not that bad.
Looking
Okay,
as though
my
they,
turn. 5 minutes is up.
Because they're going to earn their quits today. Well, at
I
this
think it's
stage.
possibly because a few local boys have come into the side, Neil.
Ah, on you, Jimmy. I'd like to hear your comments about the local boys, because we're all 3 Springvale fellas, and we know all about this club's tradition. Anyhow, it's Jamie Shaw, isn't it, Neil, with the ball?
It's number 32. He's about the 25th player they've used.
Well, Greg Paxton's just gone off, and young Brett Shannon's come on. And
There's Shannon on for his first game, and overrunning the ball is a very desperate Graham Dempster. Tony Collins playing pretty good game and just bounces inside the line. Good play. Steve Letts can't even handle the football today. He's having an off day, young Stephen. But I got a lot of time for Steve Letts because he was the only player, Jimmy, who bought a copy of the team's highlights last year. And I spent 2 days putting it together.
It was terrific, particularly when he wasn't in any of them.
Yeah, that's right. He was in a couple of them.
well done by Shannon. Then I'm a big rep for this player, Steve. I think he's got a lot of potential.
Oh, it's good, Jimmy. Shannon's the one we didn't mention. We forgot about.
Well, he's grown up a bit, hasn't he, Hugh? He used to be a very loud-mouthed, undisciplined under 18.
Yeah, but he doesn't play there anymore.
That's
does he?
right. But he was dreadful.
Yeah, well, who wasn't down there? And so would have you been. If you're allowed
Great
to
tackle.
be.
I don't smoke,
Oh, I'm commentating anyhow, and the ball's coming in. Sorry about that, I forgot all about that. I forgot I'm commentating. I better sit down, because I'll get in Shane's way. It's very cold, Jimmy. It's better to stand, isn't it? But you can throw in, and Tony Quinn having a run on the ball and getting a few hit-outs now. It's in the back, and it's Shannon's kick. No, it's
That's
not.
a ball up.
And even Jeffrey Anderson's yelling at this umpire. And there's the bounce down and against Quinn because Jordan got in front and he's off. Kicks it very, very high in the air and Peter Keys will punch this. He should have.
Get in front.
Oh, beautiful hand pass from Darren Quinn. Isn't he a beautiful user of the ball? Steve Letts gets a rare kick, gets it over to Maloney, who into the wind. How do you like the pass? Holden, get it across. Maloney's followed up. Will he get it over to Clark? Yes, he does. Clark on the right foot. He's a left footer. Gets it through, though. Great team goal. Jimmy Futniotis.
Well, I think that just showed the advantage of running up with the ball.
Darren Quinn's hand pass.
Well, I think the rotten conditions, and it must be extremely difficult to play football in this breeze, it's given the Vales a real chance because this mob are on a big slide, Preston. They haven't played well for 3 weeks, and they haven't played very well here today either.
Well, I think when you lose 3 games in
Out of 4.
out of 4, Neil, it must affect your confidence.
They
in
would,
some sort of way.
obviously be expecting to win this one without too much trouble at all, and they've met a mob that is at least prepared to have a bit of a dip.
This Preston side, as far as players go, Neil, isn't a patch on last year's, and I think it's only the good coaching by their coach that's got them up near the top. But Good play by Gray, gets it out to Tony Collins, who's going in hard. Tony Quinn gets it across with a little kick for some strange reason. Shannon going in hard. He's had a dip since he's come on, and it's going to be a bounce down by Springvale's favourite umpire. What is this bloke's name, Neil, do you know?
This is Gleeson, I think. It's
Gleeson.
not Walker.
I don't think Laurie Feather will be his dinner invite him to dinner at all. Jordan gets a beautiful hit out, and Shannon tackles hard, and I think that's out on the full. No, it's not. Bounces
Right on
1
the line.
centimetre inside the line.
Good pressure by Shannon then.
Yes, good pressure by Shannon. He'll have a go. It's good to have young players in having a go, Jimmy.
Most definitely.
We like the Springvale cut of lad. And it's definitely a free kick to Quinn, and he's played it to Jordan. And I can't work this out.
He's a bit closer than you.
Okay, he's closer than me, Neil said.
And he was right in front of him. It was probably the right decision.
It probably was, okay. Anyhow, it's Dudley getting across
Now, let's
to
chop out the
Keys.
bias stuff. Come on.
And Keys gets it over to Clark. It's hit back, though, to the Preston defence. Going in very hard there was, I think Maloney's hurt, Neil. Anyhow, it comes
Yeah,
out
looks
to
like it.
the Preston player.
Hurt his groin, I think.
Darren Quinn intercepts. It's a free kick against Mendy, and the player's giving it back to Mendy. If this Gleeson's got any idea about umpiring, it should be Mendy's free kick.
Salvador, he has too.
Yes. He's given
Get
it to
Salvador.
Mendy.
And
Oh,
it
he's been
appears to
sucked
me
in,
he
I'd
could suck
say.
a few of these boys in from the Preston side.
Yes, and that's good to see. And Bloomfield
Well
must
done.
be having a rest, is he? I know he's down the forward line, sorry. There he is now, speak of him. Too high against Holden,
Bit unlucky. Could have bounced that.
and they're harassing, and there's a loose player there, and no one's following him. Good
Well done.
smother, Peter Bloomfield.
Ran
But
over
the
the mark.
umpire was going to pay 15, and Bloomfield crashes his way through, but it's still a kick by the Preston defender, and it comes out to Darren Quinn and Brett Salvador, and
Well done.
Darren dives
Well
on the ball.
done.
Good on you, son, and hits it out.
Very
Not
courageous
enough
stuff.
support, though, and it comes out to Dean Holden.
Well, I think Darren Quinn's giving Salvador a bit of a hiding.
Yes.
Well, that's good to see.
He's a
isn't
real
it?
pretty
Most
boy with the
definitely.
tips, isn't he, Salvador? And if you serve it up to him and don't let him get it run around doing what he likes, he's a different sort of a player.
I think he's ready to spit the dummy, Neil.
Yeah, the old blonde tips. They're a bit of a worry, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you couldn't wear them. It's kicked up very, very high by Stephen Ross, and under the ball is Jamie Shaw. Jamie Shaw, the nemesis of Springvale. He always kicks a few against us, Neil, doesn't he?
Well, he did the first game. That's the only time he's ever played against us.
Yeah, well, as I said, always. And he got a difficult shot. About 15 metres out, kicking into the wind, and he'll have to kick a good kick to kick a goal. See, it's off the side, it won't be a goal. It's a good enough kick, and it's a goal. It's back to Neil
Good
Brown.
enough. It was straight through. It was a lovely kick.
Yes.
He let the breeze take it right in.
Flat punt like Peter Hudson.
Well, I think he kept it low, and that's why he
thing
kicked
to
it so
do.
straight.
Well, Jimmy, you never ever kicked the flat punt, did you?
No, I was always, I always preferred the drop punt,
Drop punt. Ever kick
Mainly-
a tall?
quite often.
Quite often, yet you preferred the drop punt.
That's correct.
Which is
Mainly for accuracy, Steve.
the drop punt for accuracy. Johnny Eagles always kicked the torpedo. We had him up here, didn't we, Neil?
Yes, we seem to be inundated with Scoresby people of late.
Jimmy
I thought you were going
Scoresby.
to say ex-Springvale players.
Yeah, I think that'd be better, but anyhow.
Jordan wins the hit down. Grabbed by Holden, but his kick went virtually towards the Preston side, and Clayton now's got two opponents. He's in the van, he grabs it, he gets dragged off the ball, and he'll be holding the ball, I think. What's happened there? It's a free kick being paid to Stephen Ross. Ross sends Preston forward. Not much in this game, and Springvale doing remarkably well. Keenan made a mess of it. Young Quinn dived on it. Here's Mendy and Salvador looking for a free kick. Holden's there, he's played
Ooh,
quite
he's
well.
Given a couple away, Salvador, isn't
I
he?
think he's a bit upset because he's not getting a kick.
Yes, Quinny's getting his hands on the football a lot more than Salvador, that's
And it
for
runs
sure.
out of bounds. Throwing in the teeth of goal for Preston. Keenan takes out a beautiful hand pass. This will be a goal. Straight over to Yeomans. And what a lovely hit out from Keenan. Straight to the player who was just waiting to put it through. And that puts Preston very close, a point behind, 7-6, 7-5. There's a player hurt, and they've got the walkie-talkie. I think the coach must watch it from a higher vantage point.
What?
Because the little bloke coming on, it's another player. This man is playing.
49, so I reckon they've got 25 players.
They've had everybody's playing here.
I think we should call for a count. Jimmy, go down and have a look in their interchange.
How did you pronounce his name, Steve?
Number 49, Mazzocca. Arturo Mazzocca.
Arturo Mazzocca is on the
like
ground.
chocolate, doesn't it?
Well, it is.
Nobody can grab it.
Toblerone.
Point the difference into time under the second term, and a surprisingly close game. I wouldn't say it's entertaining. The football's been dreadful.
Oh, it's entertaining from a Springvale point of view.
Here's Jordan, grabbed by Holden. Nobody can lob it. Kicked into the four-line by Beer. He's in front
Good
this
mark.
time, Keish,
Good mark.
and being paid the mark.
They're
Play
off.
on. Mendy tries to play him, but the umpire did pull it up, and it's got to come back to be kicked behind the mark.
Why did he stop that, Neil?
Well, I don't know. You tell me.
No, I don't know.
Keish has kicked it forward. Here's Maloney, clever play, got underneath it. It'll be run out of bounds. On the half-forward line for Springvale. The wind very cold and a very difficult day to play football, hence the poor quality. Clark and Jordan. Oh, beautiful hit on over the top, but it's gone to Holden. Oh,
In the back.
Holden got a push in the back, but he propped though. He didn't really go at the
I think
ball.
he played for it there, Neil, and it came off.
Here's his kick up for Clark. Clark got a push in the back, not paid. Down to Bloomfield. He's caught. There's Clark now. He's got good shepherd by Shannon. Over
Jeez,
to
he's playing well, Tony
Collins.
Collins.
His handball's a bit astray, but it gives Gray a
It's a
chance
goal.
to give it over to Dudley, and Dudley from point
Doesn't
blank
miss.
range into the open goal and puts it through.
Jeez,
and a beautiful piece of play. Started off by
Tony
Clark
Collins, really.
and Collins, and nice bit of shepherding by young Shannon. And although she nearly come over.
Have a look at this teamwork, and Tony Collins playing the best game he's ever played for Springvale Seniors, and well done, Tony. Good to see.
Lovely goal. Paul Dudley is pretty deadly around the goals.
Yes, oh yes. He
And,
doesn't miss it.
Made no mistake. Good play, good handball there. Gray and Clark and
It's against Preston.
Dudley.
Bloomfield's kick.
And a free kick. And they're starting to make fundamental errors, the Preston side. Here's Bloomfield.
Play on. Oh, you could see
Bad
that was
smother.
going to
It's
happen.
given Preston back possession. He's backed up well, though,
Yes.
by Bloomfield.
Yes.
Well done. It's given Gray a chance to grab it for the Vales. Mendy. Mendy's got the kick forward now. Bounces over the top. He can't control it. Here's little Holden. Hand passes to Dudley. Dudley has a quick kick at goal. I think he's
It's a
put
goal.
it through. It's
He
his
doesn't miss this
third
bloke.
goal of the quarter, and young Paul Dudley puts it through. Good play by the Vale.
He's
Two
kicked
quick
about
goals.
4, I think.
2 goals in time on. Very important goals against the Blues, and it's been a top quarter against the Blues.
3
They haven't
goals.
given in at all.
3
And
goals.
a big question mark about the Preston side. Indeed, a
think
huge question mark.
I think what's happened is that Springvale's playing a very disciplined type of game, and they're adhering to instructions where, well, really, you'd have to say Preston are playing like rabble at the moment.
Yes, well, good play by Bloomfield. He got
Yes.
the kick for the infringement in the centre, the player that ran into the square, and then he miskicked it, but he backed up well and gave Gray possession, which resulted in the goal. Here's Mendy's a good player.
Isn't he?
He sends the ball forward, but in front is the defender there in Ian Beer, and Beer will send the Preston into attack, and this time it's a rotten kick.
Anderson.
Anderson, well done, Jeff Anderson. Intercepted well by the miskick to Zarella. It's up high, oh, over the top. Beautiful big grab. And a beautiful mark taken by, it's the fullback, isn't it, Steve?
Yes, mate. I'm not quite sure.
McCann, it is Dale
McCann,
McCann.
you're quite right.
Comes around, hand pass
Good
into the
tackle,
open, Terry
Tony
White.
Collins, and dropped him. And didn't
Here he
like
is,
it.
it's Mazza. Mazza goes after it, but it's out.
29, didn't like that from
Mazzarocco.
Collins. And gives him a little shrug.
Here's a throw, and wind's blowing a gale. 9-6-67, 5-47, right on half-time. Nice hit out, grabbed by Jordan, good smother by Maloney. That was gutsy stuff. And he grabs possession, and they're really having a bit of a dip, the Vales.
Well, it's lovely to watch.
Why
I
is
think
this
they're
every
doing-
second week does this
Because
happen?
it's home ground. It's a small ground, they love it.
I don't know, they're playing it out, this mob for mine. There's the hit down.
They select in and out too, just quietly.
I think they're doing all the hard things. And,
Oh, yes,
it's
good
making it
tackle.
a lot easier overall for the team.
Give a free kick, a pretty ordinary free kick for mine, that one. He didn't go around his mark, bad umpiring. Watt
very
sends it
bad.
forward.
You're quite right, man.
Over to Dempster's in the way, and a bad kick by Watt into the forward line. And Laurie yelling again, something.
Demo, he's yelling.
And
Demo.
there's a nice mark by Martin
now
Mendy.
he's calling out
He's
to
played a
Martin.
very good first half, young Mendy.
Has he
Former
what?
Richmond player. Clark tries to hit it over to Maloney, who was running by,
Yes.
but he's paid the mark
Good mark by this bloke.
by Ian Beer.
Look at this player on his own here.
And Beer
Oh, shocking.
off the sock, a punt kick, wobbling all over the place. They're all up, nobody down. Grabbed there by the player. He tries to get handball.
Good on you, Shannon.
You went for too long, Paul Zarella.
Paul.
And a nice tackle by young Shannon.
Brett Shannon or
Brett
Paul?
Shannon.
Brett.
It's Brett, mate. Paul
Clark.
Zarella was his opponent. Clark, good mark, strong mate. Plays on, got a yard.
Good
Beautiful
kick.
pass, lovely pass. With his left foot to Holden.
Quick, get it on.
Here's the shoot, the kick up. Looking
Dudley.
for Dudley. No, not good enough. And in front was, he come from behind, and you can't do that. Fife took the mark.
It wasn't a
play.
good kick, though.
Beautiful kick by Fife, straight on the chest of this player, Anderson. Anderson shoots it up forward.
Well,
Letts comes out.
Hasn't had a touch, has he?
Down she goes. That's little Yeoman's. Yeoman's kick across is a beautiful kick. Well done, knocked away by Clayton Howe. There's Shaw's there. Howe's come out with it. He shrugs off two opponents. Well done. Sends it up and it'll roll out of bounds.
Oh, no,
Now
it's
Clark,
gone in.
it bounces in. Clark
going all
doing
right,
very
Clark.
well again for the Vale. Looking for Anderson. Tries to
Bad luck.
over the back and he pushed McKeon in the back. And the former Collingwood player, Mark McKeon, shoots it back into the centre of the ground. Here's
Keys.
Keesey under the ball. Bad
Good mark.
anticipation. A good mark there by Zarella. I think it is a red-headed boy in the centre. Over to Keenan. Keenan shoots it forward. Oh, nearly a good one-handed mark, and he held him, Clayton Howe, and he's going to pay the free kick,
There's
and he
no
certainly
doubt
was.
he did. You're quite right, he did it. You saw that, Jimmy?
I saw it, but I don't agree with it, though.
Johnny,
Oh,
what?
Well, that's fair. He saw it, but he don't, what
I think they were both holding each other's
hand?
arms.
Right.
They were locked together, and it should have been play on.
Right.
Going to have a shot at goal. It's a difficult bruise they're kicking with.
Oh, don't
It's
tell
right
me
on
they're
the
gonna get a
siren.
goal on the siren.
It's going to go through. Lovely
Oh,
goal. Johnny,
no.
what? Oh, don't matter. What's the difference?
Well, we
It's
could
7
win this
points to
game.
I'll cut it out. Hey?
We could win it.
Oh, you're trying to kid. 32-minute mark at half-time. And trying to G them up.
Well, look what happens when a man's climbing up the ladder with a can of Vic. A goal to Preston. It's the one thing Springvale didn't want. And let's hope it's not a one-half effort against this mob. We desperately need consistency. Here's Jimmy foot in the arse. Come on, Jim. Sit down, son. Now, bounce down, and it's number 9 for Preston. I've got to get that card. There it is up there. Cheerio to all the boys in the bar. Stay in there, fellas, and watch the game and drink a lot of beer. You help them pay for the players and the coach and everyone else. So, Darren Quinn, left-hand hand pass, was hit on the head after he got rid of the ball, and doesn't worry him, he can take it.
Not a very good start at all, Steve.
No, mate, but the beer's nice, and Darren Quinn can kick either foot, and I wonder if they'll start telling him off for kicking left foot. Anyhow, it goes over to Jeffrey Anderson, who was pushed in the back, but they're off, Preston, and they look dead set fair income this quarter. And marked by Ross, Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross on the left foot, kicks it high, gets his punch away. Good play, Steve Letts, and it's out of bounds. Jimmy, you can talk while I get myself ready here. Freezing.
Throw in. Taken by Holden. He missed that. A fresh air shot, as Lou Richards would say. It's kicked forward by Preston. It's out on the full. Good pressure then.
I think that's the secret, isn't it, Jim?
Oh, look, there's no doubt at all, Steve. Let's take the kick.
Tell the viewers and crack a couple of funnies, Jimmy. We're trying to get Jimmy to crack some funnies there because he's far too serious, and I think he reckons he's a chance for Channel 10. Now the ball's coming out, comes to White. White will kick it long. Dempster under the ball, as was his opponent, and Stephen Letts playing good defensive football, as does Graham Dempsey, puts the ball over the line and through for one behind.
I'm too cold to be funny, Steve.
Oh, Jimmy, you've got a... Good commentators can put up with all sorts of weather. Graham Dempster kicks the ball in, and under it was the Salvador, which is a bit stiff for young Darren Quinn because it's his opponent, and he didn't know he'd be out marking the ruckman. And speaking of ruckman, Jordan's got the ball, and he's about 45, 50 yards out with a funny-looking kick, but it's given Jamie Shaw the chance. Play on's the call, and Darren Quinn handballs to Keys, who gives a shocking hand pass to Gray. Lucky he wasn't shirt-fronted. Mendy back to Quinn, over to Gray. Gray trying very hard on the left foot. Looking a bit sloppy now, Springvale, and Tony Collins trying hard to keep the ball in. Don't look as sharp, Jimmy. Maybe I'm being a bit premature.
Well, I think the old Preston boys might have got a bit of a rev up, Steve. They didn't do too well in that first half, did they?
No, well, good credit to Springvale. They're resting. Bloomfield again gets it out over to Darren Quinn, who kicks it very high on his left foot, but that's what happens when you're under pressure. He's got a few kicks, though, and I'm a bit wrapped in him. I reckon he's a real prospect, Jimmy. And
oh, look, there's no doubt at all, Steve.
It's nice to see Springvale playing their juniors in the seniors before they get rushed off to league football, so we can get some use out of them. Instead of rushing them off to under-19s where no one watches them and they don't get any money or whatever. I hope this kid stays with us for a year or two and then makes a name for himself and gets a big fat transfer fee in his hands. And I'll tell you what, his father, Jimmy, will negotiate very, very well for him.
What, is that because he wants a 10%?
Oh, well, Jimmy might take a slice of the action. Anyhow, it's Mendy kicking the ball high in the air. Clark was smothered by his opponent. Paxton hits it on towards Anderson, the swooper, but well marked there by Arturo Mazzocca. Arturo Mazzocca, number 49. And as Jimmy says, a bit like an Italian bar of chocolate. Thrown in, and Gray gets pushed in the back right in front of the umpire, but play on was the call. And Rossi will be screaming at this bloke, but you don't get free kicks from umpires by screaming at them. It's unbelievable. They're human beings, and it's funny how they won't take it. Free kick. I wouldn't be surprised if Springvale didn't get a good go at all from the umpires, because I was told by a spectator before, when I was having a drink at half-time, Jimmy, that our one particular member of our match committee abused the umpires as they walked in.
Oh, I thought it might have been because they'd backed Preston, Steve.
No, nothing like that, Jim, and that's the sort of funnies we don't want. But anyhow, Tony Collins got the free kick downfield, and it goes to Rossi Gray. And no Ross, they're not going to pick the ball up here, and Tony Collins, the man who earned the kick for him, does it. Throws it back and was off, looking for a pass. Now everyone's covered. I don't know what Rossi Gray's going to do here. Not much he can do, but kick long, kicks it to position. Anderson led under the ball, not renowned for his high marking, Jeffrey. Clark comes through. Oh, he didn't want the ball to Preston player, but got a free kick. Mark Yeomans playing in the long sleeves now. It probably has all day. Gets it across to his teammate. Anderson intercepts. Couldn't control the ball. Holden. Jordan gets it. Chips it back to his teammate. Can't pick up his number. Left-hand hand pass to Keenan, the big ruckman. Pretty solid out there. Peter Keys. You're not going to win the game with sloppy kicks like that, but it's downfield, and Preston are being a little bit undisciplined today, Jimmy.
Yeah, I think they've showed that all day, Steve. Maybe they can't take the pressure.
Collins to the space. Maloney, he'll kick this. Yes, it's straight through the middle. Beautiful. Great play, Tony Collins. Well done, Peter Maloney, the running. And by Jesus, Jimmy, I'm very impressed with Tony Collins' game today.
Well, he's put in, hasn't he, Steve? He's put
playing
the body
like a
in
man
and,
possessed.
Oh, maybe someone has possessed him.
Well, I don't know how, but the rain might come in, Jimmy, and if it does, we'll have to move. But because we're not getting paid, and I'm not getting wet if I'm not getting paid.
I don't think our other co-commentator's going to come back.
No, Brownlee never comes back for the third quarter. He has about 4 cans, and you'll see the standard of commentary pick up after three-quarter time, because he gets full and he says rotten things about people. Number 9 is Watt, John Watt. He's off. Gets it down to Stephen... Jamie Shaw, I beg your pardon, and and takes the easy mark. There's nothing much Graham Dempsey could do about that, but Springvale obviously will have to be 100% at this mob all day, Jimmy.
Yeah, you can't really let them go, Steve. I think the back line just relaxed for a second then after we got that goal, and even though we've got the win, that goal's just showed that, you know, you just can't relax at all.
Not against this side. They're
No.
a well-disciplined, groomed side. They just bang. They know exactly what they've got to do. You make a mistake, they usually get a goal out of it. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's right. If you take the pressure off, it just makes it a bit easier for them.
the sign of a top side in VFA. And number 14 for Preston pushed one of our trainers in the head.
I
That
think
was
it's a bit of a rat bag, mate.
Pretty good effort. Paul Zarella. And
Probably just not
don't
getting
worry
a kick.
about it, Cobber. He's a mug.
I think he's upset that he's not getting a kick, Steve.
Well, I don't know, but I don't know what a trainer could do to upset you, but it's Keenan and Bloomfield wins the hit out. Going through very hard was the number 49, Mazzocca, and I'm not Arturo Mazzocca. Keenan went through hard too and tried to get Bloomfield, and there's 3 on to 1 and Bloomfield lying on the ground. So it's not too fair, but won't worry Bloom, as he's as tough as nails. And Ross Gray's got up and gets the free kick and a 15-metre penalty. So he's about 60 metres out, Rossi Gray, and kicks a long kick into the forward pocket, and Clark went one hand, unfortunately. Mendy going for the free kick, but it's not forthcoming, and it's going to be a ball up 5 metres out from the 10-yard line, or 10-metre line, or whatever. Bounced down by the umpire. It's starting to rain. Conditions are very dark and bleak, and Clark kicked the ball off the in mid-air. It's very hard to describe that, Jimmy. It was sensational.
It was acrobatic anyway, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I think the ball was bounced down, and on the way down, no one got the hit out, and Clark, who was shepherding, just kicked it mid-air, and it went through for a goal. So good play, Jeff Clark, and that's going to help Springvale, but there's still only 1 goal ahead at the 9-minute mark. I think we've got the timer on the 9 minutes 54 seconds. It's a bounce down, and Bloomfield again getting there. Bloomfield and Keenan having a great duel. Clayton Howe was tripped, and it's obviously a free kick. And Keenan's having a real go at Bloomfield today, and you couldn't possibly scare him, mate. So you want to try other tactics, like keeping up with him as he takes the mark, and Keenan harassing him. Good play, Stephen Letts. Read the game well. Bloomfield over to Letts. Has a big, long shot at goal. Play on's the call, and it comes out to Preston, and aren't they good at this? Running the ball out of the back line. Tony Quinn trying to apply pressure. Keep running, Tony. Well done. Don't give a free kick downfield. Peter Keys nearly took the mark. Jordan tried to claim it, and handball's out of bounds. Struggling all the time, Peter Keys, isn't he? Look, you can see definitely carrying a leg there, my opinion. Anyhow, Coffey's on the ground. I don't know who's off, but Holden kicks it over. Going through was Martin Mendy and the Preston player, and it comes down to Clark. Overruns the ball. 5. Coffey just on the ground. Very keen. Hand passes it out to Gray. Gray trying to get it back to Coffey. Was far too slow in responding. And comes out to the running Salvador, who accepts the hand pass. Howe giving him a close attention, and Jamie Shaw takes the mark. And it's back to Ross. And here's a fumble. You don't see that too often. Free kick to Peter Keys. And it's extremely dark at the Springvale ground.
I tell you what, that was pretty dumb by number 29 in Ross. Yeah.
29, Stephen Ross. We know their names by the third quarter, mate. Kicking high is Peter Keys. And under the ball is White. Missed the ball, and it comes out to Mazzocca. Mazzocca, good defensive play, kicks it out. And here's this Stephen Ross again, I think it is, on the left foot, well shepherded. Kicks it over Bloomfield's head. Going through is 35 Yeomans and Peter Keys, or is it Clayton now? Peter Keys, and it's a throw in. And the Preston crowd are very vocal and screaming, holding the ball, but not on at any stage. Throw in, Bloomfield and Jordan, and it's a free kick. It's got to go to Bloomfield, and it went to Jordan. Fair dinkum, umpire.
I don't think we've gotten one of those today, Steve.
No, they're ordinary free kicks.
Very.
Jordan, a sloppy-looking kick, and it was a sloppy kick.
I think the drink's affecting us, Steve.
Well, the drink is, I'm starting to loosen up the vocal cords, and it's a throw in. Big Peter Bloomfield hitting it down to Coffey, who's showing something as soon as he's come onto the ground. Yeomans, that's out of bounds on the full by about 1 metre, and Tony Collins will take the free kick, and that's 15 metres if the umpire was concentrating, but he's not. Tony Collins kicks it long and high. Clayton Howe's got to go for this. Nearly a good mark, gets it to Coffey. Coffey trying very hard, and it's against Coffey in the back, and we'll go to Stephen Ross. Pretty obvious, and trying hard for 15 metres. Falls over. This is a comedy of errors. Very vocal, the Preston supporters, and they're obviously thinking, good God, we could lose this one. Oh, and a beautiful mark. Travel a long way to see one like that. Paul Zarella, play on's the call. Beautiful low kick to Shaw, punched away by Dempster. Doing good job. Paxton didn't like that at any stage. Didn't much blame him, Jimmy.
Well, it was a bit hard to control, Steve, that's for sure.
You wouldn't know what with a bad bounce and 4 blokes bearing down on you. It'd be pretty hard to get a kick there. Bounce down. It's Bloomfield pushed out by Jordan, and that was a free kick, and it should have been holding the ball, and it's a bounce up. Ridiculous. Very poor standard of umpiring today. Very poor standard. And it's quite obvious Bloomfield's trying to go for the ball, and this Jordan guy is shepherding, and the umpire's paying him the free kicks. You can see it quite clearly. It's definitely Bloomfield's free kick. Oh, umpire! I know I shouldn't barrack, but very, very poor umpiring.
I think this umpire must be related to Jordan in some way, Steve. That was absolutely ridiculous.
He's shepherding, he's definitely shepherding. And you might hear a tin sound. That's our coach smashing the bench with his hand, and I don't blame him on that occasion because that was very ordinary umpiring. And you'll see it. You'll see Bloomfield and Jordan again now, and Jordan will definitely shepherd him out. Look at this. He's shepherding him out. And now Zarella's caught by Clayton Howe. It's a free kick. And they'll pay that in holding the ball, won't they, Jim?
Well, I don't think the umpire had any option at all then, Steve. He couldn't give Preston a free kick then.
Anderson, has he got a chance? No, overran the ball and he's not in form today. Comes down to McKeon, who kicks it high, lets it set up here, should have marked it, punched it free, comes down to Peter Coos, who's pushed in the back, and the umpire said no, he wasn't. It's a throw in. Jeff Clark screaming for the runner. Anyhow, it's a throw in. Again, it's Anderson tackling, so too Gray. Oh, and very nearly copped an elbow in the head, and he's paid holding the ball. Fair dinkum, this umpire, I don't know his name, he's not Gleeson, but he'll be... Fortunately, there's no great drama resting on this game, Jimmy, but he's a pretty ordinary umpire. Punched away by Dempster. It's a tough game. Clayton Howe hurt his back then and doesn't look happy. Got a knee in the back. And I don't think he's well. Going to be a bounce down. Tough, strong game, conditions. Jordan hits it out to Keys, and he's clear. Yards they're screaming to. He kicks it high. Fife and Dudley. Fife punches it down to Yeomans. Yeomans on the left foot, calling for the ball. Goes overrun by Gray. Darren Quinn, he's a beautiful mover. Chips it over to Dean Holden and makes position back. Quinn, but Holden not good enough to get it to him. Gray nearly gives a free kick downfield. Coming through is Let's too slow. Kicks it across. Got tackled. And it's play on's the call as Zarella gets the ball and kicks it very, very high. Under the ball is Jamie Shaw. Couldn't take the mark, and it's through for... No, it's play on's the call. And I think he's paid a free kick. And this bloke, I don't know who the umpire is paying everything against Springvale. And I don't know if this is the umpire that our match committee screamed at half-time, mate. But if it was,
Wouldn't surprise me if it was, mate.
Well, he's taken it out on us, I tell you. Because he's a very, very poor umpire. And listen to that cheer, and you can tell that that was a point. Springvale cheer.
It's a pity we can't interchange the umpires.
No, Jimmy. Yes, it's very dark, Shane. The camera, luckily we bought a good camera. It's a national. Kicked in by Stephen Letson. Clark under the ball. Coffey. Get it across some. Over to Howe. That's good football. Howe's got to hook it. Kicks it long. Didn't look at all where he's kicking. Could be a goal. Mendy. Martin Mendy. How's that for street?
Great play.
A beautiful goal. Jimmy Flopniotis.
Well,
what do you think of that,
shows
Jimmy?
the value of a long kick, and Martin Mendy read it beautifully, jumped up, grabbed it out of the air, didn't try and knock it on.
No, he doesn't tap the
Steadied.
ball, does he?
No, he steadied and he drilled it.
Right, and 2 goals in front. Great play by Andrew Coffey, who's come on the ground, straight on the ball, and has really added some zip around the packs. Well played, Andrew Coffey. Peter Bloomfield will be bouncing the ball, and I think you might have heard volley then, did you, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Keep
Couldn't
it
mistake
going,
his voice.
Steve, he says. Bounce down. Peter Bloomfield and Keenan now on the ball. And it's Gray. Coffey handles him. Got away with it because it was the other umpire. Coming through is Dean Holden. And it's going to be a ball up. Very interesting game here. Springvale 12-6. Preston 10-7 at the 18-minute mark. I think, Shane, can you press your button? How's that for technology, eh? Springvale's got the lot. 18 minutes and 45 seconds into the third quarter as Bloomfield gets yet another hit out. Rossi Gray dropped the ball on the ground and said, give me a free kick for Christ's sake. And Quinn making lovely position. Beautiful left-hand hand pass. There's not many players in the club can do that either side of the body. Comes down to Dean Holden. Hit aside by Preston. Clark on the right foot, straight back to the Preston defence. Good tackling though. Comes out to Mazzocca, Arturo Mazzocca. Down to Anderson, and the ball beats him and it's out of bounds.
Looks as if that Anderson didn't want the ball then, Steve.
Oh, well, he looked a bit timid, you reckon, Jimmy?
Well, he didn't really attack it.
Warming up is Shannon, so I don't know who's coming off the ground. I hope it's not Coffey. For mine, he's playing a great game. Probably is, though.
I would imagine that they might possibly give Greg Paxton a rest.
No, I reckon they might be giving Ando a rest, because Ando hasn't done much at all today, and that's fair enough too. Though Jeffrey's the sort of bloke that can kick 2 or 3 goals, so it's probably a good idea. Let him have a rest in the last quarter. He might kick those 2 or 3 goals. Doesn't matter who you are, you've got to be told that you're having a go or you're off the ground. Yeomans kicks it across. Darren Quinn tries hard. Tony Collins took his eye off the ball for once. Comes across the number 9, Watt. Watt gets it back to Yeomans. Good tackle by Collins, or it wasn't that good. Comes across to Keenan. And number 29, Stephen Ross. Stephen Ross gets it to Zarella. Then Clayton Howe, who was held. No, he wasn't. Play on's the call. And it's Stephen Ross, a nice pickup. Graham Dempster there with Jamie Shaw, and that's been a great duel. Backed up by Tony Collins, who was legged, and the ball's going to be thrown in. The umpire let it all go. Good umpiring. Let the game go, but don't play stupid free kicks. And you can see the umpires have interchanged, as Jimmy suggested, and one's doing our half now. And it's Clayton Howe trying to come through. A lot of courage, Clayton. Well done, son. And it's going to be a bounce down at the 20-minute mark of the quarter. And look how dark this picture is. There's nothing Shane can do about it. What you see on the picture isn't as bad as what it really is. Hit out by Bloomfield. Legged was Clayton Howe, I think it was. Peter Keys took far too long to get rid of the ball. Free kick, Jimmy.
Well, bit iffy that one.
Yeah, Graham Anderson. You think you can kick it, Jim?
No, it's very, very difficult to kick a goal from that pocket.
Okay, well, he'll probably dob it now because Jimmy's comments have been ordinary. No, it's a good comment by Jimmy this time, and it's Graham Dempster getting it out to Collins. He'll paddle the ball, as Neil Brown says, paddle the ball across the line. And cheerio to Neil, who's down there having a beer. Good on you, mate. And it's in front of the Jeff Brady or Kitney for real estate. And did Jeff Anderson come up? Did you pick that up, Jimmy? Or
No, I was watching
looking at the game?
I was watching the play, Steve. I think he has come off though.
You're up here for special comments. Keep your eye on these sort of things. Coming through, Tony Collins, who got a whack. Play on's the call, and good umpiring. I like the dark umpire. Downfield, and it's a free kick to Clark. No. And they're getting a little bit undisciplined, this Preston mob. Springvale are having a dip, and they're in this game. And look at Dudley running down the wing. Ignored by Clark. A beautiful long kick. Tony Quinn under the ball. Paxton on the run. Can he do something with it? Pace gets the handball across to Dudley. Coming through is Coffey, who's played very well since he's come on. Back to Paxton to Dudley. He's an accurate kick for goal. And this is no mistake by Dudley. Isn't he a good shot for goal, Jimmy Putney?
Well, I'll tell you what, he reminds me of a player who always used to bag 2 or 3 a few years ago, Steve.
Who was that, Jimmy?
Oh, look, modesty.
Jimmy, he's nothing like you, mate. Got a bit of toe and a very accurate kick for goal. Though you were all right from a standing shot. He doesn't miss many, mate, does he?
That was good backing up by the Springvale player.
Paxton played well.
Well, he followed it up and he got the handball out and he backed up his teammates and he was very instrumental in getting the goal.
Well done, Bloomfield. Across to young Shannon, who's done well every time he's on the ground. And a beautiful pass to Holden. And they were off then, but Dean, he's a true rover in the Lou Richards mould. He's anywhere within kicking distance, he'll have a ping. Oh. And let's hope he dobs it. Big, long, ridiculous kick comes out to Quinn, but it's punched away, and that was bad play by Dean.
I think the
plenty of players running past.
Pass onto Rossi Gray.
Yes.
In the flank there would have been on.
He's a very, very hungry player, mate. He's a bit like Kevin Bartlett.
Well,
and little rovers like having shots, and you know all about that. Throw in. Clark gets the hit out. Comes down to Fife. Tackled by Gray. Gray won't get a free kick from the umpires by yelling at him. That's going to be a bounce down. Runner was straight out. Johnny Alligate straight out to Dean Holden to tell him, come on, son. Share the ball around with your teammates. Clark, it's another beautiful hit away. Rossi Gray dives on the ball, but it's the running players who are getting the ball, and it comes out to Anderson. Anderson on his left foot gives Clayton Howland Letts and Martin Mendy the chance. Gee, I like this bloke. He's as honest as the day's long, and any wonder he's nicknamed such. Kick by Salvador, and a good mark by Keenan in front of Keys. They're off. Play on's the call, but this bloke will not give Springvale 1 yard. 1 yard. No, it's a big long kick by Keenan. Shaw and Dempster. Yes, Jimmy.
Laurie Fowler jumped out of the box then, and he wasn't too impressed with that decision.
It was a bad decision, and I agree with Laurie on this occasion. This bloke is definitely against us, but why?
I think
did we yell at him at half time?
I don't know. I think he's a bit of a rabbit anyway.
Yeah, well, he's only human, though. That's the trouble. These umpires are, but that was a bad decision. That's the best picture Shane can give us, he says, Jimmy, and he's doing a great job, and it's very dark out here.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be surprised if they threw the lights on, Steve.
Well, they should, but will they, Jimmy? This is the question. And out, kids, out. I haven't got it, Jess. Ask Mummy, she's got money, I gave her $20. I'm sorry about that, I'm just talking to my daughter who wants 50 cents. I've hand passed it to Mum, who's got a broken elbow. Fell over it, mate. Terrible stuff. 3 weeks at home, she expects me to do the ironing. Bounce down. Well, I'm not doing it. Number 14 is Zarella. Zarella kicks it over to Martin Mendy, who's doing a headstand. But ball, the Springvale players are screaming, supporters are screaming. 13-6-84, 11-7-73. I'd like to see them 3 or 4 in front, Jim.
Well, I'd like to see them about 5 in front, Steve.
Oh, well, I'd like. Okay, what about 10 if we're going to have an auction?
Well, why not?
I mean, we're only 2 in front. Do you think they can get 4 in front?
Well, we're running out of time. I think we can, yeah. Putting a request in for Freddie, don't you?
What is the time, mate? Could you push the timer now, mate? 26 minutes, mate. Leave it on, Shane, and we'll let the supporters see just what time we have got left. Jordan kicking it low. He's got a shocking style, but a very effective action and or result. Punched away by Keys in front of the group photography sign. I don't know if I should be mentioning that. I don't know if he's paid for that one. Throw in. And Bloomfield, who's battled his heart out all day. Great tackle by Tony Collins. Hasn't he tackled strongly? And on the left foot's Martin Mendy, but Fife on Anderson, on Gray, gets the kick, and Peter Keys trying very hard for the mark and combining well with Darren Quinn, who under pressure kicks the ball out of bounds, but well backed up, son. And looks like Anderson's, looks like Rossi Gray's out of the centre. How was that? Played on and ran out of bounds.
Well, all I can say is that guy must be pretty dumb.
Yes, and well, what was even dumber, and I don't have a go at Tony, was he signified out in the full. So he must have thought he ran over the line on the full or
Oh,
something.
maybe he thought it was
Clark,
maybe-
what a good game this bloke's playing. Over to Dudley. Dudley very low and short, gives Holden a chance. Well picked up, the Preston player, and well backed up by his teammate. Yeoman's got the chance, and Howe goes Yeoman. Goes back to Howe, who has to go the ball and is pushed. Play on's the call, and let's go the ball, fellas. The number 49...
I think that's McKeon, isn't it?
Arturo Mazzocca has got a very, very stinging ear. It'll be a very cold day to cop one today around the ear.
Tell you what, and that was compliments of Dean Holden too.
Hit aside by Keenan. Keenan starting to wear poor old Peter Bloomfield down, but Bloomers has got a big heart. And number 3's trying very, very hard, McKeon, to push Shannon. Kick down to Tony Collins. One of Springvale's best for mine, Tony. Played a great game, copped one in the snout, but he'll get up. Have to hit him with a sledgehammer to hurt him. Dudley on his own, screaming on the wing, but didn't pick it up, Tony. Kicks it long down to centre forward. Why not? Clark's playing well. Nearly takes the mark. Comes down to Coffey, who's chasing. No, it's the Preston player. Kicks it high. Darren Quinn under the ball. Trying hard for his team, and so too is Clayton Howe. Comes out to 33, which is Anderson. Anderson gets it over to Yeomans. Yeomans has a ping, and that's a bad goal to get for Springvale. Good one for Preston, and at the 29 minute mark
Well,
of
that's
the
not a
quarter.
good sign there, Steve. One of the Preston players is crammed up.
Well, it doesn't matter, mate. They're one goal. In fact, they're only 5 points behind, kicking with the wind, but I don't know, that wind seems to have died down a bit. Do you think I'm wrong?
Well, I can't feel it down here, Steve, unless it's changed direction.
Well, I hope it's changed direction. The gods are with us if it has, but Springvale are 5 points ahead, but I'm not too worried about that because, well, we've had the advantage of the wind and it might rain any minute and the wind advantage will go. Bloomfield going through hard. Geez, he's got a big heart. Goes out to Holden, who left foots the ball, but it's smothered and it's kicked out by Salvador. Salvador down to Keys. Keys trying hard, gets it over to Darren Quinn. Darren Quinn, beautiful play,
well
son, over to Holden. Well done, says our special comments man. Clayton Howe gets boot to ball, goes down. Very good mark by White. White gets it over to Yeomans to Jordan. Jordan harassed. Bounce the ball and holding the ball. Great play, Rossi Gray. Great umpiring by our dark-haired umpire. And Rossi Gray kicks it over to Paxton. And there's the siren for the end of a very eventful quarter. 13-6 to 12-7. Springvale are still in this, even though they're kicking against the wind. They've got a sniff of victory and they know that.
You're going, whoa, whoa, like Mike Williamson.
Yes.
About some sort of umpiring decisions. I thought it was Laurie Fowler up here.
Oh no, the umpire has definitely got a set.
Whoa, whoa.
The
Yeah.
fair-haired bloke has got a set against.
Well, any wonder why?
Well, why do you
You get
think he
abused
has?
while you're going into half time.
Do you think he's the one who was abused?
I don't know, I couldn't care less. Start blaming umpires.
No, I'm not blaming the umpire, but he's taken a set against us.
This rain's a godsend, I tell you, this could even it right up.
Yes, I agree with that. 13-6, 84, 12-7, 79. And Neil Brown's going to be your commentator to start off this quarter, and I'm going to have a well-earned beer. Not that Neil bought one up for me.
Right. Rain tumbling down. 13-6, 84, 12-7, 79. Preston with the breeze. Salvador. Over to Yeoman, straight up in the air. Bale's been a good performance today.
Lift it up.
Running through, hand pass it back to Yeomans. Yeoman's left foot kick into the forward pocket. There's Dempster, will push it over. No, yes, it runs out of bounds now before Anderson can get to it. And the rain sort of racing into our commentary box too.
Yeah, well, you think that's my fault because of the...
Design, yeah, probably.
Oh, well, you helped a lot.
Here's the throw in, Jordan and Bloomfield. Snap, shot. It's a goal. That's the one Preston needed with the aid of the breeze. And they're desperate to win this. They haven't been having a pretty bad trot and they haven't played very poorly all day. But a lovely goal by number 14 it was, wasn't it? Paul Zarella.
Zarella, mate.
He's a ruck rover, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with Preston, but that's being a bit unfair to Springvale. I think they played all right today now.
13-7, 85, 13-6, 84, and we've only played, how long, Shane? We've played 1 minute and 15 seconds and Preston have taken the lead. Hit out by Keenan, but Gray roves it well. sends it into the attacking forward line for Springvale. Fife, good handball over the top. Oh, he fumbled a bit, this bloke, but he got possession okay. Dale McCann sends Preston back into attack. Oh, nearly a nice mark by Jordan. Here's a little player, grabs it. I can't pronounce him, it's M-A-A-Z.
What is it?
O-double-C-A.
Yeah, Mazarocca, isn't it?
Mazarocca.
Mazzocca.
Mazzocca.
Arturo Mazzocca.
That's him.
Rolls off your tongue.
It was a dreadful kick and went out of bounds, and the resultant free kick went to Dempster, who kicks it back, and Preston looked full of running at this opening few minutes.
Well, they may well be, because Peter Bloomfield's been on the ball all day and got a lot of young players out there now.
Yes, here's the kick forward by Watt it was. In front was Dempster.
It's definitely
in the back
a
to
free kick.
Dempster.
Yeah. Good umpire, this bloke.
He'll take the resultant free kick. Rain is not going to help the play at all in this last quarter. Letts is waiting for the ball to be kicked back by a progressive youngster.
A progressive youngster.
Well, he's out there and
good effort,
getting balls. Here's Dempster's kick straight to Salvador, who's got the running. He grabs the ball, runs around Clark, sends it forward right to McKeon. Nice position kick. McKeon plays on quickly. His kick's not as good. Watt's there though, knocked away by Mendy, but Watt will take the result mark. Mendy's gone down.
Oh no.
Hurt. And he doesn't look well at all.
No, he would be hurt. It's no way he'd be putting on an act.
Couldn't see how that happened either. Did you see that, Jimmy? What happened to him there?
The rain's coming in and I'm moving.
I think he fell awkwardly then, Neil. And,
yes, geez, not well. He's rolling around on the ground. 84 plays 85.
You're right, eh?
Desperate struggle here at Springvale. And Preston.
How's Shane, eh? He's in the rain, he's terrific.
Oh, it's an amazing man.
very hardy.
Some Kilda colours on. John Watt with the shot.
He's got one in the ribs, Mendy, and I'd say he'd busted a couple of ribs. How's that for a guess?
Oh, that's...
Wow, it's a pretty wild one.
Having all your medical background, well, he's just been punched through for a behind, and that gives them a 2-point advantage. Mendy's going to come off.
Yeah, well,
and Andrew Coffey coming on.
Andrew played very well. I was very surprised he got dragged, actually. Added a bit of zip.
I think they might see what the extent of Martin's injuries are and try and get him back on the ground for this vital last quarter. Oh, Jordan, beautiful mark. Took it out of the hands of Peter Keys and the big fellow. Awkward kicking style. Sends it forward. No one home. No one can mark. Dempster got his hands on it. Snapshot by Zarella. Oh, desperate play. Oh, Stephen Letts.
Good boy.
Pushed it through for a behind. Hurt himself doing it.
Well, that'll be on highlight, so he might buy another. If I tell him he's on it, he'll buy it for sure, wouldn't he? So I don't know if
Graham Dempster.
I don't know if
Preston done all the attacking in this early part of the last quarter. No one can mark. It'll roll out of bounds.
Through Clayton Howe's hands.
Absolutely teeming with rain here at Newcomen Road.
Well, Springvale are not out of it because of the rain now.
No, it should give them a bit of a... They can hold the game tight, get in front. Coffey.
Anderson back on was dragged too, I might add. Did you know that?
Well, I think Jeff was taken from the ground due to the fact that he hasn't played for 5 weeks, and it'll take him a while to slip back into the slipstream of big-time football.
That's right, he wasn't getting the kick. That's what you're
I wouldn't say he was dragged off.
Well, what was he?
He's the captain. That's why he got a game straight away. Here's a kick that's given the Vale advantage. It's Maloney who's played a magnificent game. Left foot kick looking for Tony Quinn. Tony's handball straight to the Preston player, and that wasn't real good. And
he's hurt himself.
It's going to come out. Here's Peter Bloomfield.
Oh, how's that for
With a rugby tackle. Put his head down, and they've taken it off him. Salvador's a fight on with Keenan and Maloney.
Keenan's been having a go at Bloomfield all day, and he's no good.
Tony Quinn's knocked out. I'd say Tony Quinn is KO'd out over there.
Bad umpire.
He's really hurt himself bad, Tony Quinn.
I don't know who he is, but he's a
Here's
bad
Zarella. He's tackled. It's Keys. Keys balks and weaves. He's in a bit of trouble.
Is he? What?
Tony Quinn's not well.
One in the face.
He's come through, Tony. And Martin Mendy's going to be forced to be back on the ground. He's not well, Tony, at all.
There's Tony Quinn there.
I'll tell you what, he was knocked out, I reckon. He's just come to. Stephen Letts with the free kick.
He was knocked out.
Yes, I tell you what, he wasn't moving down there. Oh, 3 opponents, Bloomfield. Well done. He held them all at bay.
How's his courage? He'll
pulled off the ball, Paxton. He hit him like a rugby scrum down here in front of us. Tony Quinn coming off with the assistance of 2 trainers below us. Here's a kick forward, but a nice mark in
Played well.
defence by Big Graham Dempster on Jamie Shaw.
Hasn't he played well, Neil? It's his best game for the year, I reckon.
The rain teeming down, very difficult conditions. It's blown over the back and a beautiful mark by Clayton Hill. Mendy straight on the ground. Left hand bounce, it bounces back up to him. Lovely hand pass. No, it wasn't. It gave Maloney the chance.
No.
Beautiful hand pass over to Gray.
Geez, they're playing
Gray
well.
sends it forward.
Midfield.
Over the back, Coffey. Punched away brilliantly by the defence
Dudley?
of... here's Dudley, the danger man. Oh, he got grabbed with the ball. Oh, he's rocked it out.
Anderson.
Punched away from Anderson. Here's the defence. Strong in defence, Preston. Oh, great tackle by Darren Quinn, but he rode the tackle beautifully, the Preston player, and shoots it up forward, and a nice mark by that man,
Mazzocca.
Mazzocca. It's in the Preston forward line, rolling around.
There's
Oh,
a
this,
goal,
no, they
no.
fumble it. Here's Graham Dempster, goes for the boundary line. The only thing he could do, he sends it out towards Clayton Howell to roll out of bounds, and real tough play this now.
It's stiff there, Neil. Could have got a
Yes,
goal out of that.
moved it forward nicely, the Vale, and looked like they could have scored a
Well,
goal.
Maloney and Gray have combined brilliantly in the midfield.
It's been great players. Down to Watt. Nice hit out by Keenan. Watt's kick
Floyd,
smothered.
Peter.
Well done. Here's Mendy.
Hasn't he got
Courage.
courage?
Lovely hand pass across to the youngster, Darren Quinn.
Could have
He
run a
puts
bit
his
more.
boot into it. He's found Clark leading there. Can't gather it in. He's pushed off
How's
the
this
ball.
ball?
Here he
Look at
goes
it.
again.
Go,
He's
Darren,
grabbed when he didn't
go.
have the ball. That's a free
Shepherd
kick
him,
umpire.
Martin.
Quinn kicking it off the ground. Up onto the forward line and out of bounds. Well done, Darren Quinn.
Impressive debut
I'll
from
tell
the
you what,
youngster.
he was grabbed when he didn't have the ball when he was kicking it on the ground. Bad umpiring there. Should have got a free kick.
You're impressed with his debut, Neil?
Oh, he's a very good young player. There's no doubt it's a big future for Darren Quinn in football. There's a punch. You know when he can grab it. Gray grabbed the player without the ball. Wasn't a good tackle. I wouldn't complain about that one, which they are doing out there on the field. And Yeoman sends it ball up onto the centre wing.
Paxton.
Roving at the back of the pack from the big fellow Jordan, and it's sent forward over the back, punched down by the Preston defence. Here's Zarella's been a good player. Onto his right boot.
Anderson's chasing.
Here's White. The ball was good for White, and it bounces beautifully
He's
up for
chasing
him.
Anderson.
Good play by Anderson. Put the pressure right on him and forced him to force the
Good
ball out of
play.
bounds.
Great play by the
3
skipper.
points the difference. 13-6, 13-9. We've played 10 minutes into this last quarter, and a big effort wanted. Lovely hit out by
Beautiful
Bloomfield,
play,
down to
mate.
Maloney, down to Dudley, who's been a great player, but behind is Andrew Coffey. And it finds the defence of Preston too strong. Punch down away from Keenan. Here's Tony Collins, played a fair game. Over to Dudley. Dudley's got an opponent. He shrugs him, gets a wild hand pass. Young
In the
Darren
back.
Quinn. Oh,
don't believe
set
it.
upon by a couple of opponents, and Gleason's going to bounce it.
Jimmy Fontianis, what do you think of that?
Well, I thought it was a dead set push in the back.
Yeah.
Looked like it, didn't it?
Yep.
I'll tell you what, he runs straight at the ball and really has a dip, the young kid.
Oh, he's not frightened at all. Good knockout.
Beautiful hit out by Jordan down to Zarella. Zarella's got a heap of pace. Here's his big kick at goal. Put it straight through. Great goal by Paul Zarella.
Not necessarily the sealer, though.
No, but a lovely goal on the run. He kicked it from about the square, didn't he? And it just kept going with the aid of the
Beautiful hit
Blues
out. Beautiful hit out.
by Jordan, and that's given them a 9-point advantage. And with the way the weather conditions are, it's going to be hard for Springvale to come
Well,
back.
I'll do the middle 10, Neil, and you can finish the game off, son, because you're in great form. Jimmy Fontianis, do you give us a chance?
Well, while they're still playing, there's always a chance, I suppose, Steve.
Yeah, what's that mean, though? Do you think we can win it?
Well, it's going to be hard, but I think if we apply ourselves, there's every chance, mate.
Good on you, Jimmy.
Very
to the
dark,
last.
isn't it?
Oh, it's very dark, but look at that picture. Look what Shane's done to that picture, Neil. You're in the bar, you got the best picture. But Jordan's starting to get on top of Peter Bloomfield, and that's understandable. Poor old Peter's been going all day without one bit of rest. And if we could find someone to go on Jamie Shaw, perhaps Dempster could go on the ball. Because he's played a crackerjack game, Dempo. I don't know whether you can put bloomers on him. Very hard. They're a bit limited.
I don't know what they can do.
Springvale. But certainly poor old Pete's very, very tired. Trying hard.
Keenan.
Number one, it's a goal. It's a goal by Keenan. Touched. Touched as called by our cameraman. who saw the touch thing, and it's 14-10 to 13-6. Kick in by Dempster. Finds Holden all on his lonesome, but they tackle. They don't let you get clear, this mob. Kicked by Holden, a beautiful low pass into the wind, and finds Dudley. Dudley, who's played a great game for mine, chips it across to...
not too many players beat Greg Fife pointless, but Dudley has.
I wouldn't say pointless. Fife was best player in the ground in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah,
he's kicked a few goals, hasn't he, mate?
It's a state rep.
Beautiful kick into the wind by Maloney, but does he ever waste a kick? And it's marked by Anderson.
It held up.
Go on, mate.
It held up, and Jeff took a nice mark there.
I'm tipping Ando will do his typical captain's trick and dob this straight through the middle.
Well, they desperately need this goal. Wouldn't you agree, James? I'd say this is at the 11-minute mark, keeps them right in the match.
Well, if anyone can kick a goal, Jeffrey most certainly can.
He's a good player, this lad, and he'll lift. You watch this.
You wouldn't have missed this, Jimmy. He has.
Yes, unfortunately, Jeff has. Jimmy wouldn't have missed it, you reckon?
No way.
No way. While he's standing up in the box with us, would we say that he'd miss it?
I used to write headlines when I used to write constructive articles about the club.
Oh, you couldn't know how to write two-syllable words.
Don't you write constructively anymore, Neil?
I don't write anymore.
No, he gave it to me, and look what it's got me into. All sorts of trouble. Anyhow, it's marked by I think it was Keenan, and he kicks it to Yeomans, who's played very well for a player who was on the interchange originally, and he kicks it long
Went on the
into
ground all
Collins. He's been on the ground all day, but he was picked interchange, didn't you say?
Yeah, but they picked about 6, I don't know, was playing and who wasn't. I think
Who's
they all
off?
turned
Do you
up this
know?
month.
Shannon come on the ground. Paxton off the ground, Shannon on. Well done, Jimmy. That's what we're paying your fat fee for. Goes to Tony Collins, kicks it high in the air, and Clark. He'll have it punched away. You can't mark those. Courageous play by Rossi Gray. Coming through, though, is 15 is White. Well done by Martin Mendy, as you heard Neil Brown say. And it's a free kick. And unfortunately, it's not the dark-haired umpire. It's the other fella, and we'll get anything at all which we can give away, he'll give. And I don't know what Laurie said to him at half-time, but he must have called him all sorts of things, because he is dead set against us, this fella. No doubt about that. Kicked high. Dempster under the ball. Punch it through, fellas, yes. It's through for a point and gives a 10-point lead to Preston at the 14-minute mark. And it's going to be very, very hard for
It's a handy lead in these conditions.
That's right, mate. Dempster kicks it in.
Remo.
And here comes Remo Palanti, straight from the national stock tape. And I don't mean the national as in the country, the national as in the
Well, you do a bit of job.
Kicked by Dudley, and Bloomfield trying out. Anderson coming into the game this quarter. Good play, Jeffrey Anderson, over to Shannon. Get it long, son, get it long. Get in front, Coffey. He did manage to interfere with him at White coming out. He's played a good game too, this bloke.
Very experienced player.
Yes, kicks it across to 29, which is Stephen Ross, who kicks it, chips it across to Rossi Gray and Yeomans and Shannon. Shannon overruns the ball. Fife, tackle well, Shannon. Good play, son. Over to Holden. Can Holden do something with the ball? He kicks it. Coffey in front this time. Get it back, son. Over to Maloney. He has done that. On the left foot. Who's there? Clark. No one. Through for a point.
They just seem to be lacking someone on that last four-line move to finish some good play off, don't they?
Yes, it is. And Remo's looked at the scoreboard and said, "By gee, we're in this." And we are, mate. 9 points behind. Kicked in by the Preston player. Very high, and Bloomfield punches it away. Good on you, Bloomers. Coming through is Fife. Fife handballs backwards, goes to Ross, and Dudley tackles a little bit high, just around the face, and it goes to Zarella. Just a trifle high. Short pass, and Dudley backing back. Good boy. Comes to Quinn, who was tackled when he didn't have the ball, but lost. He's probably a bit tired. It's his first senior game, the kid. Comes down to Watt. Watt chips it across to Jamie Shaw, who drops it. And I reckon Dempster's played his best game for the year, Neil.
He's played a fair game at fullback.
Yeah, he's kept him pretty quiet.
Great player, Graham Dempster. He's never not trying to do his best, that's for sure.
That is for sure. Throw in, and Bloomfield hits the ball away from about 8 players, and young Stephen Letts gets it over to Jordan. Jordan and Dudley. Jordan, a clever player, gets it onto his left foot with that awkward style of his, out of bounce on the full. Well done.
They've been the better side, I think, Jim, in this last quarter, Preston. They've done all the attacking.
Well, they've got that little bit of experience on us, I think, Neil, and it's just shown out when the pressure was really on.
Great comments from our special comments man, Jimmy Fopniotis, who I can tell you was an experienced footballer. and maybe Jimmy's saying we lack experience. Is that what you're saying, Jimmy?
In tight finishes, yes.
Okay, strip son. Marked by, is it Jamie Shaw again? Looks horribly like him. Yes, Graham Dempster standing on the mark. Two great bean poles of players, Jamie Shaw and Graham Dempster. Tall, thin lads. And it's been a great duel.
I wouldn't call Jamie Shaw thin.
Oh, he's thin, look at him. He's a rake. Kicks the ball through the middle. And that's just about cemented it, I think. 16 points at the 17-minute mark. I can't see Springvale getting back into it. Jimmy, what do you reckon?
I think it'll be pretty difficult now, Steve.
Yes, you never know in VFA, though.
So you're giving us a chance, Neil?
Oh, you know,
Oh, Jesus, you're loyal to this team.
very, very difficult weather conditions.
You've never knocked them all year. You've had a go at me all year. You shouldn't be put up. You shouldn't be crucified with me. I should be on my own.
Well, I know one thing for sure. I'm going to make a very profound statement. I'll bet you Darren Quinn's not wearing number 50 next season.
Well, he may well be for Hawthorn, though. As long as he's with us, that's the main thing.
I meant with us.
Hey?
I meant with us.
Oh, with us, for sure. I hope they keep him for a year, mate. Instead of going down to a thirds game. I mean, no one watches it and who cares about it?
No, we've unearthed a few good kids in the last few rounds, and guys of the match committee, and I'm giving them a rap
Good on you, Neil. Well,
think
you're
about-
on their side.
to think about playing some of these young boys that have been impressive in the reserve grade and under 18 grade.
Yeah, well, it takes a lot to convince them, mate, but once they're convinced, aren't they? And I think they'll be the same. When they find out that you're against me and you're with them, they'll be very, very happy. But it's kicked down to the forward line, or our back line, and Tony Collins, who's played a ripper of a game, puts the ball out of bounds, and at the 19-minute mark, we'll give it back to Brownie, who's
Oh, you've chucked it in early.
the match committee's friend.
There's the throw in. And Preston looking okay now. They seem to have a good enough advantage for a lead. They play on, but Gray's got to bring it back. And Dudley, who's played an excellent game, how many goals he kicked? 5 or 6?
4 or 5.
Or Dudley.
Dudder, they call him.
Oh, high kick up in the air. Clark got 2 or 3 opponents, and Grant Salvador on the back line now for Preston. Takes the mark. 15-metre penalty. Plays on. Yeah, they look as though they're going to hold the game now, Preston, but they've had to battle hard for the win.
Yeah, it's been a great effort by the boys.
Sure, let's. Scrambly play, and it'd have to be in these conditions. It's teeming down in this last quarter.
You staying for a couple, Neil, after the game?
Yes. I think so. It's
took
my
a while
shout,
to
isn't
make,
it?
yeah, well, that doesn't mean you have to stay. Good mark. Jordan's come into the game the last
He's a
quarter.
very good player, there's no doubt
Oh, yeah,
about
but the
Neil
2
Jordan's
under 1.
ability, and
But
Bloomfield's done a great job, and he's tired, obviously, and
good mark.
well, Peter Keys just
Watch it on the
head-butted
monitor.
the Sportsman Centre sign.
Wouldn't worry him.
He's come out with the out of bounds and the full free kick. Looking for Bloomfield. There's Jordan. Oh, into Bloomfield's interference there. Kicked scruffily into the air. Keenan over the top. Pushes it down. And well trapped by Keys. Beautifully done. Left foot kick.
Done a couple of
Onto the
nice
forward
things,
line.
Peter.
Here's a young Shannon. Shannon free kick for sure. No doubt about that by the young fella. He plays on. Clever play by the young fella. Shoots it forward. Lovely lead by the player in Coffey. And it wasn't, he didn't complete the mark, unfortunately.
Couldn't finish
Away they take it. Dino, who's back on the ground.
it. Say his name, come on.
Renato.
Would you help us out here?
Din
Email, mate.
Tinasanti.
He's Italian. Come on, what's that, mate?
Renato Din Tinasanti.
Number 12, mate. Our our resident Italian.
You better not stand
Drop
there.
on your head.
That's not it.
Din Tinasanti.
Din Tinasanti.
Din Tinasanti,
Well,
Renato Din Tinasanti.
We call
it is.
him Rin Tin Tinner, but
Yes, Dino will do for mine. Tony Quinn's recovered, that's good to see because he's desperate to come back on the ground, this young fella.
then he's back on. Who's off?
Dash back on.
Coffee off?
Well, I poked my head out and got it wet. Coffee.
Yeah, coffee's off. Yeah, well, he dropped that mark.
There it is. Comedy of errors out there is
21
Desperate
minutes. You
play.
better put that time up if you wouldn't mind.
to Salvador and Preston exerting their... it'll roll off hands for a point.
Arden, that's what I'm thinking.
Salvador and Preston, their off hands for a point. 16 points, 17 points.